Start your day with simple words that guide your choices and steady your mind. This audiobook shares 10 clear phrases to say every morning, plus practical steps you can use right away. You will get short exercises that help you build habits, protect your time and quiet self-doubt. Listen and notice small shifts like calmer breathing, steadier focus, and a clearer sense of what matters. Each section gives a real action you can try today, not abstract theory you will forget. There is one short phrase in this recording that you can repeat when stress hits, and it will help you act instead of freeze. You will hear how to protect energy, say no without guilt, and turn tiny efforts into steady progress. Nothing is complicated or fancy, just plain honest advice spoken in a human voice you can follow. Stay with the full audio to learn every phrase, practice the exercises, and collect the simple habits that stack into real change. Chapter 1. Choose small daily actions that build steady, lasting progress. Choosing small daily actions that build steady, lasting progress is one of the most powerful ways to transform your life. Progress is rarely the result of a single big decision or a sudden burst of motivation. Instead, it is the accumulation of small, intentional actions taken consistently over time. These actions may feel minor or even insignificant in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, they compound into meaningful change. Understanding and embracing this principle is the foundation of self-mastery, personal growth, and long-term success. The first step in harnessing the power of small daily actions is recognizing the value of consistency. Most people underestimate how much small actions matter because they are focused on instant results. They want transformation overnight, a sudden breakthrough that changes everything. Reality, however, works differently. Success and growth are not accidents. They are the byproduct of deliberate choices repeated consistently. Brushing your teeth every morning, making your bed, exercising for 15 minutes, reading a few pages of a book. These seem minor, but their effects accumulate. Every small action is a vote for the person you want to become. By focusing on tiny, manageable steps, you remove the pressure of perfection and make growth achievable even on difficult days. Choosing the right actions requires clarity about your goals and values. Without direction, small actions may become scattered and ineffective. Take a moment to define what matters most to you. Is it improving your health, strengthening relationships, building skills, or developing resilience? Once your priorities are clear, identify simple, repeatable behaviors that align with these priorities. For example, if health is a goal, committing to a short daily walk, drinking an extra glass of water, or preparing a nutritious breakfast can be transformative over time. If learning is your focus, reading a few pages each day, writing reflections, or listening to an educational podcast are all manageable actions that compound knowledge. Clarity of purpose ensures that even the smallest actions have meaning, making them more likely to stick and generate results. Consistency is strengthened by designing an environment that supports your actions. Humans are creatures of habit, and our surroundings heavily influence behavior. If your goal is to write daily, keeping your journal or laptop visible and accessible reduces friction. If your aim is to eat healthier, stocking your kitchen with wholesome foods while removing sugary snacks makes good choices easier. Small adjustments to your environment remove reliance on willpower, making your actions automatic and sustainable. This is the essence of smart progress, shaping your surroundings to naturally support the behaviors that matter most. Over time, these small environmental nudges ensure that progress continues even when motivation wanes. Accountability is another critical factor in building lasting progress. Sharing your goals or daily actions with someone else, whether a friend, family member, mentor, or even a digital community, adds an extra layer of commitment. Knowing someone else is aware of your efforts encourages follow-through and creates a support system for when challenges arise. Accountability doesn't have to be formal. It can be as simple as sending a daily message noting your progress or checking in weekly. External accountability reinforces internal discipline, reminding you that your small actions are meaningful and noticed, which increases consistency and persistence. One of the most important insights about small daily actions is that they reduce overwhelm. Large, vague goals can feel intimidating and paralyzing, causing procrastination or abandonment. Instead of focusing on the enormity of a goal, breaking it down into actionable steps makes it manageable. Want to get fit? Commit to 10 push-ups a day. Want to write a book? Commit to 200 words a day. Want to improve mindfulness? Commit to 2 minutes of meditation daily. Small actions remove the pressure of perfection and reduce the fear of failure. When you focus on one manageable step at a time, progress becomes inevitable because it is anchored in achievable, consistent behaviors. Understanding the compounding effect of small actions is vital. Just as money grows with interest over time, personal growth compounds when you take consistent actions. Each day's effort builds on the previous days, creating momentum that accelerates progress. This principle works across all areas of life. Reading 10 pages daily may seem negligible, but in a year, it can result in dozens of books read. Saving a small amount of money daily can lead to significant financial security over time. Practicing kindness, gratitude, or patience in small moments improves relationships and emotional resilience in ways that become profound and lasting. The key is to trust the process and value the accumulation of incremental improvements rather than expecting instant transformation. An essential part of choosing small actions is learning to prioritize them effectively. Not all actions carry equal weight. Some actions have the power to influence multiple areas of your life simultaneously. These high-leverage actions should take precedence. For example, exercising daily not only improves physical health, but also enhances mental clarity, boosts energy, and strengthens discipline. Journaling daily improves self-awareness, reduces stress, and enhances decision-making. Identifying and prioritizing these high-impact actions ensures that your efforts yield the greatest returns over time. The wisdom lies in recognizing that progress is not about doing everything but doing the right things consistently. Discipline plays a critical role in maintaining small daily actions. Motivation is fleeting and unreliable. It comes and goes depending on mood, circumstances, or external events. Relying on motivation alone is a recipe for inconsistency. Discipline, on the other hand, is the ability to act regardless of how you feel. It is the muscle that allows you to show up even when you are tired, stressed, or distracted. Building discipline begins with committing to one small action and honoring it daily. Over time, this consistency strengthens self-trust and confidence, which reinforces your ability to maintain other positive habits. The more you prove to yourself that you can follow through, the easier it becomes to sustain meaningful actions in all areas of life. Reflection and review are essential components of lasting progress. Taking time to evaluate your daily actions helps ensure that they remain aligned with your goals. At the end of each day, reflect on what actions you completed, what worked well, and what could be improved. Weekly or monthly reviews allow you to adjust strategies, identify patterns, and celebrate growth. Reflection transforms mechanical actions into intentional progress. It helps you understand cause and effect, recognize your achievements, and recalibrate when necessary. Without reflection, actions may continue without purpose, reducing their long-term impact. Regularly reviewing your progress keeps your journey purposeful and effective. Real-world application of small daily actions extends beyond productivity and skills. It shapes character, mindset, and resilience. Every time you choose a small action, you exercise control over your choices and demonstrate self-mastery. It strengthens the belief that your life is directed by your decisions, not circumstances. Small actions in the face of difficulty teach patience, persistence, and courage. Completing a challenging task every day, even if minor, reinforces resilience and mental toughness. Over time, these incremental efforts create a sense of empowerment and capability that permeates all aspects of life. One practical way to implement small daily actions is through habit stacking. Habit stacking involves linking a new action to an existing habit. For example, if you want to practice gratitude daily, do it immediately after brushing your teeth in the morning. If you want to exercise, do it right after your morning shower. By attaching new behaviors to established routines, you reduce friction and increase consistency. Habit stacking transforms intention into automatic behavior, ensuring that small actions are repeated reliably. This strategy simplifies the process of integrating meaningful behaviors into your day without overwhelming your schedule or willpower. Another strategy is setting specific, measurable actions. Vague intentions often fail because they lack clarity. Saying "I will read more" is unclear and open to interpretation. Instead, specify the action. "I will read 10 pages of a book every morning." This clarity provides direction and allows you to track progress. Measurable actions create accountability and make it easier to maintain focus. They also provide a tangible sense of accomplishment when completed, reinforcing the habit and motivation to continue. Clarity transforms abstract goals into actionable steps that consistently move you forward. It is equally important to celebrate small wins. Recognition of progress, no matter how minor, reinforces commitment and builds momentum. Completing a small action may seem insignificant, but acknowledging it strengthens confidence and morale. These small victories create a positive feedback loop. Completing actions encourages more actions, leading to further progress. Celebrating small wins also reinforces the idea that growth is a journey, not a destination. Each day becomes an opportunity to advance, and each completed action becomes evidence of your capacity to improve and evolve. Adapting to challenges and setbacks is another essential aspect of sustainable progress. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles will inevitably arise. Small daily actions provide stability because they create structure and routine amidst uncertainty. Even when progress feels slow or setbacks occur, maintaining consistent actions keeps you moving forward. Small steps ensure that you do not get derailed by difficulties or discouragement. They teach resilience by demonstrating that forward movement is always possible, even in challenging circumstances. The ability to persist through adversity is a cornerstone of personal growth and lasting transformation. Mindset is crucial in sustaining small daily actions. Viewing each action as an investment in yourself transforms ordinary tasks into meaningful steps toward growth. Instead of asking, "Does this matter?" ask, "How will this contribute to the person I want to become?" This perspective changes how you approach daily choices. Small actions become purposeful, and the discipline required to maintain them becomes empowering rather than burdensome. Over time, your mindset shifts from seeking immediate rewards to valuing long-term growth, making consistency natural and enjoyable. In addition, small daily actions improve self-confidence and self-trust. Each completed action proves to yourself that you can rely on your word and follow through. This builds a sense of integrity and self-respect. The accumulation of these small successes gradually reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving bigger goals. Confidence is not built through occasional achievements, but through repeated evidence of your competence and reliability. Small actions serve as the building blocks of enduring self-assurance, allowing you to tackle greater challenges with certainty and calmness. Small daily actions also create clarity and momentum in decision-making. When you commit to consistent behaviors, you reduce mental clutter and decision fatigue. Knowing that certain actions are non-negotiable frees up mental energy for more complex choices and creative problem-solving. Momentum builds naturally because each completed action fuels motivation for the next. This rhythm creates flow in your day and cultivates a sense of purpose and control. The combination of clarity, consistency, and momentum transforms daily life into a structured path toward meaningful goals. It is important to embrace patience when practicing small daily actions. Results are rarely immediate. Transformation is a gradual process, and the benefits of consistent effort often become visible only after weeks or months. Patience is the companion of persistence. Trusting the process, remaining disciplined, and honoring your actions daily cultivates a long-term mindset. The ability to delay gratification, continue despite slow progress, and maintain faith in incremental improvement separates those who succeed from those who falter. Patience combined with action creates unstoppable growth over time. Finally, integrating reflection, gratitude, and intention into small daily actions maximizes their impact. Start or end each day by acknowledging the actions you have taken, expressing appreciation for your efforts, and setting intentions for the next day. This practice reinforces awareness, commitment, and purpose. It ensures that every small action contributes not only to external results, but also to internal growth and well-being. By combining action, reflection, and gratitude, you cultivate a life of progress, resilience, and fulfillment. Choosing small daily actions that build steady, lasting progress is not merely a strategy, it is a philosophy of life. It recognizes that growth is earned, not given, and that mastery emerges from consistent effort over time. It emphasizes discipline over motivation, patience over impatience, and consistency over intensity. Every small action is an opportunity to shape your character, strengthen your mind, and direct your life toward meaningful goals. The power lies not in a single heroic effort, but in the countless deliberate steps taken day after day. By committing to small intentional actions, designing your environment to support them, celebrating progress, and reflecting regularly, you create a life of purpose, resilience, and sustained growth. Each day becomes a building block of your future self, and each small choice reinforces the truth that progress is always possible, no matter the circumstances. This is the path to mastery, fulfillment, and personal transformation. It is practical, actionable, and profoundly empowering. Every day presents an opportunity to choose a small action, to act with intention, and to move steadily toward a better version of yourself. Over time, these actions accumulate into a life of remarkable results, unshakable confidence, and deep satisfaction. By embracing this philosophy, your life becomes a testament to the power of consistency, discipline, and deliberate action. Each small step matters, each day counts, and each moment is an opportunity to build lasting progress that transforms not only your life, but also the impact you have on the world around you. Chapter 2. Commit to one meaningful goal and work on it. Committing to one meaningful goal is the single most transformative choice you can make, because focus turns intention into action and action into results. Life becomes overwhelming when energy is scattered across too many directions, ambitions, and distractions. The human mind is wired to excel when it channels effort toward a clear objective, yet most people struggle because they dilute their attention. Choosing one goal and devoting time, energy, and resources to it creates clarity, purpose, and momentum that cannot be achieved through scattered attempts. This approach allows you to harness the full potential of your discipline, creativity, and persistence, producing progress that compounds over time. The first step in committing to a goal is understanding what truly matters to you. Many people choose goals based on external pressures, trends, or comparisons with others. These goals rarely sustain motivation or inspire deep commitment. A meaningful goal comes from alignment with your values, your vision of the life you want, and the impact you hope to make. Reflect on what excites you, what challenges you in ways that matter, and what you would regret not pursuing. The process of identifying your goal requires honesty and introspection, because the right goal will demand effort, persistence, and courage. When the goal resonates deeply, it becomes a source of intrinsic motivation, carrying you forward, even when challenges arise. Once a goal is chosen, defining it with precision is essential. A vague goal lacks the direction needed to guide action. Instead of saying, "I want to improve my health," define exactly what that means. "I will walk 10,000 steps daily and complete 3 strength training sessions weekly." Instead of "I want to advance my career," clarify the steps. "I will complete a professional certification within 6 months and apply for leadership roles afterward." Specificity transforms abstract desires into actionable commitments. It creates measurable benchmarks that allow you to track progress and adjust strategies along the way. Clarity makes the goal tangible, and tangibility makes success achievable. Committing to a meaningful goal requires a plan, not just intention. Planning does not have to be complicated, but it must map the path from where you are to where you want to be. Break the goal into smaller milestones that can be achieved systematically. These milestones act as checkpoints, allowing you to evaluate progress, celebrate achievements, and adjust when necessary. For example, if your goal is to write a book, your milestones could include outlining chapters, writing a set number of words daily, completing a draft, revising, and finally publishing. Each step brings the goal closer while keeping effort manageable. Large objectives become attainable when approached incrementally. Consistency is the cornerstone of working on a goal. Goals are not achieved in a single burst of effort. They are the result of sustained action over weeks, months, or even years. Daily habits that align with your goal compound into results far greater than sporadic bursts of effort. Discipline grows when you honor small commitments repeatedly, and this consistency creates momentum. Momentum transforms effort into confidence, and confidence drives further action. Even when motivation fades, consistent action carries you forward. The most successful people are not those with the strongest motivation, but those with the most reliable habits. A meaningful goal also demands prioritization. Not every activity is equally valuable in achieving your objective. Learning to distinguish between high-impact actions and distractions is critical. Focus on tasks that directly contribute to your goal, and be willing to eliminate or delegate those that do not. This requires discipline, self-awareness, and sometimes the courage to say no. By concentrating your energy on what matters, progress accelerates, and the goal becomes less daunting. Every decision and action should align with your commitment to the chosen goal. Visualization and mental rehearsal are powerful tools for deepening commitment. Picture the completion of your goal, imagine the feelings of accomplishment, and experience the satisfaction as if it has already happened. Visualizing success primes your brain to recognize opportunities, strengthens motivation, and reinforces belief in your ability to achieve the goal. Mental rehearsal also prepares you for challenges by allowing you to anticipate obstacles and plan responses. The clearer your vision, the stronger your focus, and the more resilient your efforts. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable when pursuing a meaningful goal. They are not signs of failure, but essential parts of the growth process. Committing to one goal teaches perseverance because there is no option to divert attention to easier or more immediately rewarding pursuits. Each obstacle is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve strategies. Resilience grows when you face difficulties head-on, rather than avoiding them. Understanding that setbacks are temporary and solvable empowers you to maintain momentum even in difficult circumstances. Tracking progress is crucial to maintaining commitment. Keeping a record of daily actions, milestones reached, and lessons learned creates accountability and provides motivation. Seeing evidence of advancement reinforces the belief that consistent effort produces results. Regular reviews allow for reflection, adjustments, and celebration of small wins. These moments of recognition fuel confidence and provide clarity about what strategies are working and which need refinement. Progress measurement transforms effort into tangible results, keeping you focused and inspired. Accountability strengthens commitment to a meaningful goal. Sharing your objective with a mentor, coach, or trusted friend ensures that you have external reinforcement in addition to internal discipline. Knowing someone else is aware of your goal encourages follow-through and provides support when challenges arise. Accountability can take many forms, from weekly check-ins to public declarations of progress. This external layer of commitment reduces the likelihood of giving up when motivation wanes or obstacles appear. Flexibility is an essential companion to commitment. While unwavering focus is necessary, rigid attachment to a single method or timeline can be counterproductive. Evaluate strategies regularly and adjust approaches as needed. Flexibility allows you to adapt to changing circumstances, unforeseen challenges, and new information while remaining fully committed to the goal itself. This balance of persistence and adaptability ensures steady progress without unnecessary frustration. A meaningful goal provides a framework for decision-making. Every choice, large or small, should be filtered through the lens of whether it moves you closer to your objective. When your priorities are clear, it becomes easier to say no to distractions, temptations, and unproductive activities. Commitment to one goal aligns daily behaviors, relationships, and time management with what truly matters, creating coherence and purpose in life. Embracing the discomfort that comes with pursuing a meaningful goal is essential. Growth often requires stepping outside comfort zones, confronting fears, and enduring temporary hardship. Committing to a single goal teaches courage because it demands sustained effort in the face of uncertainty. The willingness to tolerate discomfort builds character and strengthens resilience. Challenges become opportunities to develop skills, deepen understanding, and reinforce determination. Celebrating incremental progress reinforces commitment. Even minor advancements are evidence that your effort is working. Recognizing small victories fuels motivation and builds confidence. This practice reinforces the understanding that transformation is a journey, not an instant event. Each step completed is a building block, and acknowledging them sustains momentum toward the larger objective. Emotional engagement amplifies commitment. When your goal resonates with your aspirations, passions, or sense of purpose, your efforts gain intensity and meaning. Connecting emotionally to the outcome creates intrinsic motivation that fuels persistence even when external rewards are delayed or uncertain. Feel the significance of the goal and let that energy guide your daily actions. Passion paired with discipline creates unstoppable momentum. Self-reflection deepens commitment by helping you understand why the goal matters. Regularly revisit the reasons you chose this objective, the impact achieving it will have, and the person you want to become in the process. This reflection nurtures motivation, reinforces clarity, and strengthens resilience against distractions or doubts. Understanding your why is a compass that guides decisions, fuels perseverance, and keeps you aligned with meaningful progress. Time management plays a pivotal role in pursuing a single goal. Structuring your day to prioritize high-value actions ensures that your most important work receives attention first. Allocating specific time blocks for goal-related activities reduces procrastination and increases efficiency. By controlling how you invest your time, you maximize results while minimizing wasted energy. Every day becomes an intentional step toward the objective, turning hours into measurable progress. Developing patience is essential when committing to a meaningful goal. Results rarely appear instantly. Long-term objectives require sustained effort and unwavering dedication. Trusting the process and understanding that consistent work compounds over time allows you to remain steadfast despite slow initial progress. Patience reinforces discipline and prevents frustration, keeping your focus sharp and your motivation intact. Finally, committing fully to one meaningful goal transforms your mindset. You begin to see yourself as someone capable of focus, perseverance, and growth. Your decisions become deliberate, your energy becomes directed, and your actions generate tangible results. Commitment to one objective cultivates a sense of mastery, self-respect, and purpose that permeates every area of life. The clarity, momentum, and resilience developed through this process are skills that extend far beyond a single goal, shaping the way you approach every challenge and opportunity. Committing to one meaningful goal is not merely a task, it is a declaration of intention and a framework for transformation. It is about harnessing focus, taking consistent action, and cultivating the patience and resilience necessary to see the journey through. By identifying a goal that aligns with your values, defining it with precision, creating a plan, and executing consistently, you activate a process that turns intention into tangible outcomes. Accountability, flexibility, reflection, and celebration reinforce the commitment, ensuring steady progress even in the face of obstacles. Over time, the dedication to a single meaningful objective transforms your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your life, demonstrating the unparalleled power of focused, purposeful effort. Chapter 3. Practice honest self-talk and correct unhelpful beliefs daily. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, and the way you speak to yourself shapes every choice, action, and outcome in your life. Honest self-talk is not just a practice, it is a discipline that transforms how you perceive challenges, make decisions, and interact with the world. Many people unknowingly allow unhelpful beliefs to govern their behavior, silently telling themselves they are not capable, deserving, or ready. These beliefs act as invisible barriers, quietly sabotaging ambition and growth. Confronting these thoughts with clarity and truth rewires your mindset, empowers your actions, and unlocks potential that has always been within reach. The first step in practicing honest self-talk is awareness. It begins by noticing the inner dialogue that runs constantly in your mind. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise in response to stress, setbacks, or opportunities. Are you telling yourself, "I cannot handle this," or "I am not good enough"? Observing these patterns without judgment is crucial because awareness creates the possibility of change. Once you recognize the messages you are repeating, you can evaluate their truthfulness and their alignment with the person you want to become. Awareness is the foundation on which transformation is built. Next, question the validity of your beliefs. Many self-limiting thoughts are based on assumptions, fear, or past experiences rather than factual evidence. Asking yourself whether a belief is objectively true allows you to separate perception from reality. For instance, telling yourself, "I always fail," is rarely accurate and prevents growth. Replacing this belief with a fact-based, constructive statement like, "I have faced challenges before and learned from them," reframes your mindset. Honesty in self-talk means confronting the lies you tell yourself and choosing language that supports rather than limits your potential. Consistency in correcting unhelpful beliefs is essential. Negative thoughts may reappear repeatedly, but each time you recognize and correct them, you strengthen mental resilience. Treat these moments as training for your mind. Every corrected thought reinforces a new pattern of thinking that is aligned with growth, confidence, and self-respect. Over time, this discipline creates an internal environment that nurtures success rather than fear. The repetition of intentional, constructive self-talk becomes a habit that shapes how you respond to life's challenges naturally and effectively. Language is a powerful instrument in shaping self-perception. The words you choose for yourself matter more than you realize. Replace vague or critical language with precise, empowering expressions. Instead of saying, "I hope I can do this," affirm, "I will focus on doing this step by step." Small shifts in language influence thought patterns, emotional responses, and motivation. Honest self-talk communicates truth to yourself while guiding you toward action and growth. The way you frame challenges determines your ability to approach them with clarity, calmness, and determination. It is important to acknowledge your strengths and accomplishments when engaging in self-talk. Many people focus solely on perceived weaknesses or failures, amplifying doubt and limiting confidence. A balanced and honest dialogue recognizes both areas for improvement and the skills you already possess. Celebrating strengths, recalling past successes, and reminding yourself of progress builds resilience and reinforces the belief that challenges are solvable. Honest self-talk is not about vanity. It is about cultivating an accurate understanding of your abilities to foster growth and effectiveness. A practical method to practice this daily is to write your thoughts. Journaling creates a space to express, examine, and challenge internal dialogue. Each morning or evening, note the thoughts that arise, evaluate their truth, and rewrite any that are unhelpful. This process strengthens clarity and accountability while solidifying new thought patterns. The act of writing externalizes the mind's chatter, making it easier to identify distortions and replace them with constructive beliefs. Over time, this exercise enhances focus, decision-making, and emotional control. Visualization complements honest self-talk. Imagine yourself acting from empowered, truthful beliefs rather than limiting ones. Visualize responding to challenges calmly, confidently, and effectively. Mental rehearsal reinforces new neural pathways in your brain, strengthening the connection between belief and action. By pairing visualization with corrective self-talk, you prepare yourself to navigate real-life situations with composure and skill. Seeing yourself succeed internally increases the likelihood of acting successfully externally. Accountability enhances the practice of self-talk. Sharing your intentions with a mentor, coach, or supportive friend allows external perspectives to challenge distorted thinking. Others can provide insight into blind spots you may not recognize and affirm truths you might overlook. While ultimate responsibility lies with you, external feedback accelerates mental clarity and reinforces honest assessment. Accountability also strengthens commitment, ensuring that corrective practices are applied consistently. Daily habits reinforce positive self-talk. Structured routines create opportunities to implement reflection and correction at predictable times. For example, start each day by affirming your capabilities and setting intentions based on truth rather than fear. End each day by reviewing thoughts, correcting distortions, and acknowledging accomplishments. Consistent repetition builds mental discipline, transforms automatic thought patterns, and embeds constructive self-talk into daily life. The more integrated these habits become, the more natural and effortless honest reflection is. Facing discomfort is unavoidable when confronting unhelpful beliefs. Many thoughts persist because they protect us from perceived risks or failure. Challenging them requires courage, willingness to feel vulnerability, and acceptance of uncertainty. Discomfort is not a sign to stop, it is evidence that you are expanding your mental capacity. Each time you confront and correct a limiting belief, you reinforce resilience, deepen self-trust, and strengthen the foundation for long-term growth. Self-talk shapes emotional resilience. Beliefs influence how you react to setbacks, criticism, and pressure. Constructive self-dialogue reduces anxiety, boosts confidence, and increases problem-solving ability. Honest assessment of your thoughts allows you to respond logically rather than react impulsively. When the mind is aligned with truth, emotions stabilize, decisions improve, and energy is directed towards solutions instead of rumination. Emotional mastery emerges naturally when self-talk is disciplined and constructive. Integrating gratitude into self-talk magnifies its impact. Recognizing the strengths, opportunities, and progress in your life, alongside correcting limiting beliefs, creates a balanced mental environment. Expressing appreciation for your own efforts, skills, and growth reinforces constructive thinking, while neutralizing negativity. Gratitude strengthens self-respect, resilience, and motivation. Honest self-talk, coupled with acknowledgement of what is going well, provides clarity and sustains momentum. A critical aspect of correcting unhelpful beliefs is replacing judgment with curiosity. Instead of labeling thoughts as good or bad, examine them for underlying assumptions and patterns. Ask, why do I believe this? And does evidence support this belief? Curiosity shifts your perspective from criticism to analysis, creating space for rational correction and learning. This approach fosters objectivity, self-awareness, and flexibility, reducing the emotional weight of negative thinking and empowering deliberate action. Applying honest self-talk in social and professional settings strengthens confidence and influence. When internal beliefs are clear and constructive, interactions are grounded in truth rather than fear or doubt. Decisions become deliberate, communication is assertive, and relationships are more authentic. Correcting limiting self-beliefs internally translates to stronger external performance, creating a cycle of credibility, respect, and opportunity. The practice requires patience because thought patterns have been established over years. Rewiring beliefs is a gradual process that demands repetition, persistence, and vigilance. Expect setbacks without judgment, view them as opportunities to refine the process, and continue consistently. Incremental improvement in self-talk accumulates, ultimately producing profound shifts in mindset, confidence, and outcomes. Honest self-talk is the foundation of personal integrity. When your internal dialogue aligns with reality, values, and goals, decision-making becomes consistent and reliable. Actions are guided by purpose rather than fear, doubt, or indecision. This alignment strengthens character, reinforces self-respect, and builds trust in your own capabilities. Integrity begins internally. Your beliefs dictate the quality of your choices, actions, and long-term success. Finally, integrating corrective self-talk into daily life transforms the way you navigate challenges, opportunities, and relationships. It empowers you to take control of your mind, confront limitations, and cultivate an environment where growth is inevitable. By consistently observing thoughts, challenging distortions, affirming strengths, and reinforcing constructive beliefs, you build a mind that is resilient, focused, and capable of achieving meaningful goals. Honest self-talk is not just a mental exercise. It is a disciplined practice that shapes the reality of your life, guiding every decision, action, and outcome with clarity, courage, and purpose. Chapter 4. Build a morning routine that fuels energy, focus, and purpose. How you start your morning determines the energy, clarity, and focus you carry into every moment of your day, making the first hours the most important part of building a life of purpose and achievement. A morning routine is not simply a list of tasks. It is a deliberate strategy to prime your mind and body for success. By designing a routine that fuels energy, enhances focus, and aligns with your intentions, you gain control over the day before external distractions and obligations take over. People often underestimate the compounding impact of consistent mornings, yet the small intentional actions taken at the start of each day ripple through every decision, interaction, and accomplishment. The foundation of a powerful morning routine begins with intention. Waking up without purpose leads to reactive behavior and scattered energy. Identifying what you want to accomplish and how you want to feel sets the tone for the hours ahead. Before rising, decide what kind of day you are committing to and the mindset you wish to carry. This clarity transforms the morning from a series of automatic movements into a conscious launchpad for productivity, focus, and growth. Your intentions are the compass that guides every action in the early hours. Creating a consistent wake-up time is one of the simplest yet most effective components of a morning routine. The human body thrives on rhythm and regularity. Rising at the same time each day stabilizes energy levels, improves mental clarity, and strengthens discipline. Even if motivation is low or circumstances change, a fixed wake-up time ensures the day begins with structure and predictability. This consistency reinforces self-trust, sets a tone of reliability, and signals to the mind that each day is an opportunity for intentional action rather than a chaotic series of responses. Hydration and movement are essential to fueling energy first thing in the morning. Drinking water immediately upon waking replenishes fluids lost during sleep and jumpstarts physical and cognitive performance. Simple movement, such as stretching, a short walk, or bodyweight exercises, stimulates circulation, awakens the muscles, and prepares the mind for focus. Physical activation in the morning also boosts mood and provides a sense of accomplishment before external demands begin. Energy cultivated through deliberate action early in the day compounds, enhancing productivity and resilience in all activities that follow. Incorporating moments of reflection into the morning strengthens clarity and purpose. This may include meditation, journaling, or reviewing intentions for the day. Spending even 5 minutes in quiet contemplation allows the mind to settle, organize priorities, and align with long-term objectives. Reflection ensures that actions are guided by conscious choice rather than reaction to circumstance. Establishing mental clarity at the outset reduces stress, increases awareness, and enables sharper focus when challenges inevitably arise. A structured morning should include focused planning for the day, reviewing tasks, setting priorities, and identifying critical actions ensures that your energy is directed toward meaningful work. This practice prevents distraction and decision fatigue by providing a clear roadmap. When daily priorities are outlined and acknowledged, every subsequent action becomes purposeful, reducing wasted effort and increasing the probability of achieving goals. Planning in the morning creates momentum because it transforms abstract intentions into concrete steps that can be executed immediately. Nourishing the body with mindful nutrition is another pillar of a morning routine that fuels energy and focus. Consuming foods that provide sustained energy rather than quick spikes prevents crashes and maintains mental clarity, including protein, healthy fats, and natural sources of carbohydrates supports cognitive performance and physical stamina. Attention to nutrition demonstrates self-respect and reinforces the principle that deliberate choices in small matters set the stage for larger achievements. Your morning meal is not simply sustenance, it is preparation for sustained focus and effective action. Learning and growth should be intentionally integrated into morning practices. Reading, listening to insightful content, or engaging in skill development early in the day leverages fresh mental energy for high-value activities. This practice strengthens knowledge, sharpens thinking, and sets an aspirational tone that informs decisions and behavior throughout the day. Engaging the mind before the noise of routine responsibilities amplifies productivity and reinforces a growth-oriented mindset. Accountability and commitment enhance the effectiveness of a morning routine. By treating your routine as non-negotiable, you reinforce discipline and self-reliance. When actions are approached with consistency and seriousness, they become automatic over time, reducing reliance on motivation. Accountability can also be reinforced by sharing intentions with a mentor or keeping a record of completed actions. This ensures that the routine is not merely aspirational, but actively guides behavior and decision-making. Prioritizing mental focus and emotional alignment in the morning prevents distraction and cultivates resilience. Avoiding social media, news, or other external inputs before establishing internal clarity preserves energy and reduces stress. By consciously creating a mental environment that's calm, focused, and intentional, you strengthen the ability to navigate challenges without reactive responses. A disciplined mental start enhances problem-solving, creativity, and strategic thinking throughout the day. Integrating gratitude and positive reflection amplifies emotional resilience and motivation. Recognizing achievements, progress, and opportunities in life generates optimism and confidence. Even brief acknowledgement of what is going well fosters a mindset of abundance and prepares you to approach the day with constructive energy. Gratitude in the morning establishes perspective and strengthens mental clarity, making subsequent actions purposeful and grounded. Incremental action in the morning creates compounding momentum for the day. Completing even small tasks before external pressures arrive produces a sense of accomplishment and control. These early successes build confidence, enhance decision-making, and generate a pattern of proactive behavior. Momentum gained in the morning carries through to subsequent tasks, reducing procrastination and increasing the likelihood of sustained productivity and high-quality performance. Personalization is critical for creating a morning routine that lasts. What works for one person may not suit another. Experimentation and adjustment ensure that the routine is tailored to your energy levels, goals, and preferences. Consistency is important, but flexibility allows for alignment with individual circumstances and natural rhythms. The routine should feel energizing, purposeful, and motivating rather than burdensome or rigid. When morning practices resonate personally, they are more likely to be sustained and impactful over the long term. Mindset cultivation is central to a morning routine that drives purpose. Repeating affirmations, reviewing intentions, and focusing on strengths strengthens self-belief and determination. A clear, positive mindset provides the foundation for focused effort, strategic action, and disciplined execution. By starting the day with mental clarity and confidence, challenges appear manageable, opportunities are recognized, and effort is applied efficiently. Preparation the night before enhances the effectiveness of morning routines. Organizing essentials, planning priorities, and setting intentions reduces friction and allows for immediate engagement upon waking. Minimizing decision-making in the early hours ensures that energy is directed toward meaningful actions rather than logistics. Preparation reinforces discipline and enables the morning routine to function as a reliable launchpad for productive behavior. Accountability within the morning routine can be supported through measurement. Tracking completion, noting progress, and reviewing habits reinforce consistency. Seeing tangible results of deliberate morning practices motivates continuation, strengthens discipline, and highlights the value of intentionality. Measurement transforms routines from abstract aspirations into concrete achievements that fuel long-term growth. Energy, focus, and purpose cultivated in the morning influence all subsequent activities. The mind and body respond to the tone established in the early hours, affecting problem-solving, emotional regulation, creativity, and interpersonal interactions. By designing a routine that prioritizes these elements, you maximize performance in every domain. Each day becomes a deliberate opportunity to advance toward goals with clarity, resilience, and intention. Morning routines are not rigid schedules. They are disciplined practices that reinforce autonomy, clarity, and strategic thinking. They train the mind to act from intention rather than reaction, reduce stress, and improve consistency across personal and professional pursuits. By treating the first hours of the day as sacred preparation, you create a life where focus and energy are consistently aligned with purpose. Ultimately, building a morning routine that fuels energy, focus, and purpose is an investment in yourself. It demonstrates commitment to discipline, growth, and meaningful action. The compounded benefits of consistent, intentional mornings extend far beyond the first few hours, shaping your mindset, habits, and results over time. The structure, clarity, and momentum gained each morning lay the foundation for achievement, resilience, and personal transformation. Each day presents an opportunity to harness the power of mornings. By waking with intention, prioritizing meaningful actions, nurturing the body and mind, and cultivating focus, you prepare yourself to tackle challenges, seize opportunities, and consistently move toward your goals. A well-crafted morning routine becomes the engine driving daily excellence, the framework supporting long-term growth, and the catalyst for a life of energy, focus, and purpose. Chapter 5: Cultivate Resilience. By facing fears, learning, and moving forward. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is cultivated through deliberate action, courage, and the willingness to face challenges head-on while continuing to move forward. Life inevitably presents obstacles, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty, but the way you respond determines your strength, growth, and future success. Developing resilience requires confronting fears rather than avoiding them, learning from every experience, and transforming adversity into opportunity. Each challenge becomes a training ground for mental toughness, adaptability, and emotional stability. The more intentionally you practice resilience, the more capable you become of navigating life with confidence and purpose. Facing fears is the cornerstone of building resilience. Fear is a natural response to uncertainty, risk, or potential failure, but avoiding it reinforces limitations and prevents growth. A conscious approach involves identifying what frightens you and understanding why it triggers discomfort. Whether it is fear of rejection, failure, criticism, or change, naming it allows you to remove its power over you. Each time you confront a fear, even in small increments, you expand your comfort zone and strengthen your ability to act despite anxiety. Courage is developed through repetition, not absence of fear, and resilience grows each time you step forward in its presence. Learning from challenges transforms setbacks into powerful lessons. Resilient individuals approach obstacles with curiosity rather than frustration. They analyze what went wrong, what can be improved, and which strategies can be applied in the future. Every failure contains insight that can refine skills, enhance judgment, and deepen understanding. By reframing difficulties as learning opportunities, you shift from a victim mindset to a proactive, empowered perspective. This approach builds confidence and ensures that each challenge contributes to growth rather than stagnation. Resilience is strengthened through deliberate action. Avoiding difficulties may provide temporary comfort, but true strength develops only by confronting problems and persisting through discomfort. Small, consistent actions in the face of adversity build mental stamina and reinforce self-trust. Completing even minor tasks under challenging circumstances creates proof of capability, reinforcing the belief that obstacles are manageable. Action rather than rumination is the catalyst that transforms fear into competence and uncertainty into control. Emotional regulation is an essential component of resilience. Strong individuals do not eliminate emotion, but they manage it effectively. Learning to remain calm, collected, and thoughtful under pressure allows for better decision-making, problem-solving, and communication. Resilient behavior involves observing emotions without being controlled by them, responding deliberately instead of reacting impulsively, and maintaining focus on solutions rather than being overwhelmed by problems. Emotional discipline ensures that challenges strengthen rather than destabilize your character. Building resilience also requires mental flexibility. Life rarely unfolds according to plan, and rigid thinking creates frustration and stagnation. The ability to adapt to new circumstances, reconsider strategies, and accept change fosters long-term perseverance. Flexible thinking allows you to identify alternative solutions, navigate uncertainty, and maintain forward momentum when obstacles arise. Resilient individuals see change as an opportunity rather than a threat, which enhances creativity, resourcefulness, and problem-solving capacity. Daily habits contribute significantly to cultivating resilience. Practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit create a foundation for enduring stress and adversity. Physical exercise enhances energy, focus, and mental clarity. Mindfulness or meditation promotes emotional regulation and reduces anxiety. Journaling or reflection allows assessment of challenges, lessons learned, and personal growth. Consistent routines that prioritize preparation, reflection, and self-care provide the stability and confidence necessary to face difficulties without being overwhelmed. Resilience is amplified through perspective. Viewing challenges as temporary, situational, and solvable reduces the tendency to feel defeated. Understanding that every individual encounters obstacles normalizes struggle and mitigates self-doubt. By focusing on controllable factors and separating them from what lies outside your influence, you conserve energy for constructive action. A clear perspective fosters determination and ensures that effort is directed towards solutions rather than wasted on frustration or worry. Support networks are critical for cultivating resilience. Seeking guidance, feedback, or encouragement from mentors, friends, or peers strengthens mental endurance. Sharing challenges and receiving external perspectives provides clarity, reassurance, and practical solutions. Resilient individuals understand the value of collaboration, accountability, and support while maintaining ownership of their actions. Interpersonal resources create reinforcement and prevent isolation during moments of difficulty. Patience is a vital companion to resilience. Progress often unfolds slowly, and immediate results may not be visible. Accepting that growth is a gradual process reduces anxiety and prevents impulsive decisions. Patience reinforces commitment, encourages steady effort, and allows setbacks to be viewed as part of a longer trajectory. Resilience is not measured by immediate outcomes, but by the persistence, consistency, and determination displayed over time. Visualization strengthens the capacity to move forward despite fear. Imagining successful navigation through challenges primes the mind for action. Mentally rehearsing responses to difficult situations builds confidence, clarifies strategy, and reduces hesitation. Visualizing not only success, but also the process of overcoming obstacles instills preparedness, mental toughness, and a proactive mindset. Repeated mental practice reinforces belief in capability and accelerates progress when real situations arise. Self-talk plays a critical role in cultivating resilience. Constructive internal dialogue reinforces confidence, determination, and clarity. Encouraging statements such as "I can handle this is temporary, and I will learn from this experience," strengthen mental endurance. Honest acknowledgement of difficulty paired with affirmations of competence balances realism with empowerment, enabling action despite discomfort. Resilient individuals train their minds to support effort, not undermine it, through consistent and intentional self-communication. Resilience is deepened by embracing responsibility. Accepting ownership of actions, decisions, and outcomes eliminates the tendency to blame external circumstances or individuals. Accountability empowers you to identify solutions, correct errors, and implement improvements. Taking responsibility reinforces self-efficacy, strengthens problem-solving capacity, and enhances confidence in navigating challenges independently. Responsibility transforms setbacks into actionable lessons and reinforces the mindset necessary for sustained resilience. Celebrating small victories reinforces forward momentum. Recognizing progress, however minor, affirms capability and motivates continued effort. Each step taken in the presence of fear or difficulty becomes evidence of strength, reinforcing the belief that obstacles can be managed. Acknowledging achievements provides emotional sustenance, reduces discouragement, and maintains the drive to persevere through larger challenges. Resilience requires confronting uncertainty with courage. Life rarely presents perfect clarity, and waiting for ideal conditions leads to stagnation. Embracing ambiguity and taking decisive steps, despite incomplete information, strengthens confidence and adaptability. Each decision made in the face of uncertainty builds experience, reduces fear, and reinforces the ability to move forward under pressure. Courage and resilience are inseparable. One cannot exist fully without the other. Reflection amplifies resilience by highlighting patterns, lessons, and growth over time. Analyzing past experiences, understanding what strategies succeeded, and recognizing areas for improvement provides a blueprint for future challenges. Reflection transforms mistakes into learning opportunities and reinforces the understanding that resilience is a skill developed through deliberate practice. A reflective mindset strengthens self-awareness, adaptability, and strategic thinking in the face of adversity. Resilience is also nurtured through preparation. Anticipating potential obstacles, developing contingency plans, and equipping yourself with knowledge and skills reduces fear and enhances confidence. Preparedness transforms uncertainty into manageable risk and enables proactive rather than reactive responses. Each instance of planning and preparation builds a mental framework that supports consistent forward movement, even in challenging situations. Maintaining perspective on the bigger picture reinforces resilience. Short-term setbacks are easier to navigate when viewed as part of a broader journey. Understanding that challenges are temporary and that long-term goals remain attainable reduces the emotional impact of adversity. This perspective encourages persistence, prevents overreaction, and ensures that effort continues to be applied constructively. The capacity to see beyond immediate difficulties strengthens perseverance and sustains momentum over time. Resilience is ultimately the combination of courage, persistence, learning, and adaptation. Each obstacle faced intentionally, each fear confronted, and each lesson applied strengthens the mind and character. By practicing daily habits that support emotional regulation, mental clarity, and physical energy, you build a foundation capable of enduring challenges without being derailed. Resilient individuals move forward, not because life is easy, but because they have trained themselves to act despite difficulty, uncertainty, and fear. Committing to cultivate resilience transforms not only the way you respond to challenges, but the trajectory of your entire life. By embracing fear, learning from every experience, acting decisively, and maintaining forward momentum, you develop the capacity to navigate adversity with confidence and strength. Resilience becomes a habit, a mindset, and a skill that empowers you to confront obstacles, seize opportunities, and continue progressing toward meaningful goals, regardless of circumstances. Chapter 6. Develop strong boundaries to protect time, energy, and priorities. Protecting your time, energy, and priorities is one of the most powerful ways to take control of your life and create space for growth, focus, and meaningful achievement. Boundaries are not barriers to others. They are commitments to yourself that ensure your actions align with your values and goals. Without clear boundaries, distractions, obligations, and external pressures drain your energy and dilute your effectiveness. Developing strong boundaries allows you to operate from a place of clarity, intentionality, and strength, creating the foundation for consistent progress and personal fulfillment. The first step in establishing boundaries is recognizing what is most important to you. Knowing your priorities provides a framework for what deserves attention and what can be delegated, delayed, or removed entirely. Your time and energy are finite resources, and clarity about priorities ensures that they are invested in ways that produce the greatest return. This requires reflection on personal goals, values, and long-term vision. When your decisions are guided by these factors, boundaries naturally align with actions that advance your purpose. Understanding the difference between responsibility and obligation is critical. Many people overextend themselves because they feel compelled to say yes to every request, even when it conflicts with their priorities. A strong boundary is rooted in the ability to differentiate between what you are genuinely responsible for and what is an optional commitment imposed by external expectations. Recognizing this distinction allows you to make deliberate choices that preserve energy and prevent burnout. Saying no becomes an act of self-respect rather than selfishness. Communication is a key element of enforcing boundaries effectively. Setting limits requires expressing them clearly and assertively to others. This might involve explaining availability, delegating tasks, or politely declining requests that do not align with your priorities. Direct communication reduces misunderstandings, reinforces consistency, and signals to others that your time and energy are not unlimited. Clear boundaries create mutual respect and ensure that interactions are productive rather than draining. Consistency is essential in maintaining strong boundaries. Occasional enforcement is ineffective because it signals inconsistency and allows old patterns to persist. By applying boundaries consistently, you train both yourself and others to respect limits. Each time you honor a boundary, you reinforce self-discipline and protect your focus. Over time, consistency creates predictable structure, reduces stress, and cultivates an environment in which priorities can be pursued uninterrupted. Time management and scheduling are practical tools for establishing boundaries. Allocating dedicated blocks of time for essential tasks ensures that high-value activities are completed without interference. Scheduling also provides visibility into when interruptions are acceptable and when they are not. This proactive approach reduces reactive decision-making, enhances productivity, and strengthens the perception of your boundaries. Treating scheduled time as non-negotiable is a clear signal that your priorities are protected. Energy management complements the protection of time. Recognizing personal limits and planning activities according to energy levels prevents exhaustion and maintains effectiveness. High-focus work should be scheduled during peak energy periods, while lower energy periods can accommodate routine or less demanding tasks. Protecting energy involves avoiding unnecessary engagements, reducing multitasking, and minimizing exposure to negativity or distractions. Boundaries around energy ensure sustained performance and mental clarity throughout the day. Digital boundaries are increasingly important in maintaining focus. Unrestricted access to emails, messages, and social media can fragment attention and drain mental resources. Establishing limits on digital engagement, such as designated check-in times, notifications management, and device-free periods, preserves concentration and reduces cognitive fatigue. By controlling technology rather than being controlled by it, you create space to prioritize meaningful work and personal growth. Boundaries extend to relationships and social interactions. Surrounding yourself with people who respect your time, energy, and values reinforces positive habits and reduces unnecessary stress. This may involve limiting interactions with individuals who drain energy or create conflict, while investing in relationships that provide support, inspiration, and collaboration. Protecting emotional bandwidth ensures that attention is directed toward connections that enrich life and foster personal development. Emotional intelligence enhances the ability to enforce boundaries effectively. Recognizing personal triggers, understanding emotional responses, and responding deliberately rather than reactively strengthens resilience and consistency. Emotional awareness allows you to assert limits without guilt or aggression, maintain composure in challenging interactions, and navigate social dynamics with confidence. Boundaries become a tool for constructive engagement rather than a source of tension. Flexibility within boundaries ensures that they remain practical and sustainable. Life circumstances change, and rigid enforcement without adaptation can create unnecessary friction or missed opportunities. Strong boundaries allow for discretion and judgment while maintaining protection of priorities. This balance prevents burnout, preserves relationships, and maintains alignment with long-term objectives. Boundaries are strongest when they are both firm and intelligently applied. Daily reflection reinforces boundary awareness. Evaluating how time and energy were spent, identifying moments where limits were compromised, and planning adjustments cultivates continuous improvement. Reflection strengthens discipline and provides insight into which boundaries are effective and which require reinforcement. By regularly reviewing choices, you maintain alignment with priorities and avoid gradual erosion of limits under pressure or convenience. Boundaries also protect focus by eliminating low-value activities and distractions. Recognizing what does not contribute to progress and removing it from your schedule ensures that effort is applied to meaningful objectives. This requires courage to let go of non-essential obligations, social pressures, or habitual tasks that no longer serve growth. Focused attention maximizes productivity and accelerates progress toward goals. Accountability reinforces boundary enforcement. Sharing intentions and limits with trusted individuals provides external reinforcement and reduces the likelihood of compromise. Mentors, colleagues, or peers can offer support, reminders, and encouragement, making it easier to maintain consistency. Accountability strengthens self-discipline and reinforces the value of protecting time and energy in pursuit of meaningful outcomes. Boundaries protect mental health and well-being. Overcommitment, constant interruptions, and excessive obligations generate stress, anxiety, and depletion. Establishing limits ensures that space exists for rest, recovery, and activities that rejuvenate mind and body. By preserving mental and emotional energy, boundaries enable sustainable performance, creativity, and clarity in decision-making. Self-care is not optional. It is an essential component of effective boundary management. Prioritization works hand in hand with boundaries. Identifying high-impact tasks, allocating sufficient time for completion, and limiting exposure to distractions ensures that energy is devoted to what matters most. Boundaries create the structure within which prioritization can operate effectively. By protecting space for essential activities, you maximize the likelihood of achieving goals and maintaining balance across personal and professional domains. Developing confidence is a natural outcome of strong boundaries. Each successful assertion reinforces self-respect, decision-making, and personal authority. Confidence reduces the tendency to overcommit, tolerate disruption, or accept diminished focus. As self-assurance grows, enforcing limits becomes intuitive rather than challenging. Confidence and boundaries create a feedback loop that strengthens autonomy, focus, and effectiveness. Boundaries foster long-term success by protecting the essential ingredients of achievement: focus, energy, and intention. Without protection, time and effort are diluted, progress slows, and stress accumulates. Strong boundaries provide the framework for disciplined action, consistent growth, and the ability to navigate challenges without compromising priorities. They allow intentional living rather than reactive survival, empowering individuals to shape their lives rather than being shaped by circumstances. Ultimately, developing strong boundaries is an act of self-respect and strategic empowerment. By recognizing priorities, managing energy, communicating limits, enforcing consistency, and reflecting on outcomes, you create a life that is protected from unnecessary stress, distraction, and depletion. Boundaries allow focus on what truly matters, maintain momentum toward goals, and cultivate the mental, emotional, and physical resources required for long-term success. Protecting time, energy, and priorities is not selfish. It is essential to living deliberately, achieving goals, and sustaining personal growth. Chapter 7. Focus on progress, not perfection, and celebrate small wins. Progress is more powerful than perfection because consistent forward movement builds momentum, confidence, and tangible results, while chasing perfection often leads to stagnation, self-doubt, and unnecessary frustration. Focusing on progress shifts attention from unattainable ideals to actionable steps, allowing growth to become visible, measurable, and sustainable. Life rewards consistent effort more than flawless execution, and small victories accumulate over time into remarkable achievements. By celebrating incremental wins, you reinforce motivation, cultivate resilience, and create a positive feedback loop that fuels further advancement. The first step is redefining success in terms of action rather than flawless outcomes. Success is not a single perfect moment, but a series of consistent, deliberate choices that move you closer to your goals. When progress is prioritized, even imperfect steps become valuable because they contribute to learning, skill development, and experience. Recognizing that every attempt builds competence shifts the mindset from fear of failure to appreciation of effort. This perspective encourages experimentation, creativity, and risk-taking, which are essential for personal and professional growth. Breaking goals into smaller, manageable steps amplifies focus on progress. Large objectives can feel overwhelming and trigger procrastination, but dividing them into achievable tasks makes action tangible. Each completed step represents measurable advancement, reinforcing the notion that progress is attainable and meaningful. Tracking these smaller achievements allows you to see momentum building, which motivates continued effort and strengthens self-confidence. Gradual improvement, rather than instantaneous perfection, creates a sustainable path to long-term success. Celebrating small wins is a critical habit for maintaining motivation. Each acknowledgement of progress, no matter how minor, strengthens belief in your ability to achieve larger goals. Recognizing effort and accomplishment provides emotional reinforcement, reducing discouragement and preventing burnout. Celebration does not require extravagance. Simple reflection, noting achievements or expressing gratitude for personal effort, reinforces positive behavior and builds internal momentum. These small moments of recognition compound over time, fueling sustained commitment and resilience. Learning from mistakes is integral to focusing on progress. Imperfections are inevitable, and viewing them as opportunities rather than failures shifts perception and reduces fear. Every error contains information that can guide improvement, refine strategy, and enhance skill. Resilient individuals analyze missteps objectively, extract lessons, and apply insights to future actions. By valuing growth over flawlessness, setbacks become catalysts for advancement rather than obstacles to confidence. Consistent action reinforces progress-focused thinking. Regular effort, even when results are not immediately visible, establishes habits that compound over time. Commitment to daily practice, incremental improvements, and repetition creates a rhythm of achievement. Progress is experienced cumulatively, and each small action contributes to larger transformation. Persistence, rather than perfect execution, is what produces meaningful and lasting outcomes. Mindset plays a pivotal role in sustaining focus on progress. Viewing challenges as opportunities for learning, acknowledging effort, and avoiding harsh self-criticism cultivate resilience and determination. Progress-oriented thinking encourages patience, reduces anxiety, and enhances motivation by emphasizing what can be controlled rather than dwelling on perceived inadequacies. A mindset attuned to improvement over perfection fosters clarity, discipline, and adaptability. Visualizing incremental growth reinforces the value of progress. Mentally seeing yourself succeed step by step creates anticipation, confidence, and commitment to action. Visualization strengthens neural pathways associated with achievement, making subsequent efforts more fluid and intentional. Envisioning consistent progress rather than unattainable perfection reinforces belief in capability and motivates persistent effort, even in challenging circumstances. Accountability enhances the focus on incremental gains. Sharing objectives, tracking progress, and reviewing outcomes with mentors, peers, or trusted partners reinforces commitment. External accountability creates reinforcement for consistent action, provides perspective on achievements, and encourages reflection on lessons learned. Collaboration or mentorship ensures that small successes are acknowledged, mistakes are analyzed constructively, and motivation remains high. Measurement and tracking of progress provide clarity and motivation. Recording completed tasks, milestones reached, or skill improvements offers tangible evidence of advancement. Seeing progress in black and white reduces doubt, reinforces commitment, and highlights the impact of consistent effort. Quantifiable records transform abstract goals into achievable steps and allow adjustments to strategies for maximum effectiveness. Progress-focused behavior strengthens resilience. When attention is on continuous improvement rather than flawless outcomes, challenges become opportunities for adaptation. Mistakes are reframed as temporary setbacks and learning experiences. This perspective reduces the emotional weight of imperfection, enabling persistence, problem-solving, and creative approaches. Focusing on progress cultivates a mindset that is solution-oriented, adaptable, and empowered. Prioritization aligns effort with meaningful advancement. Identifying the most impactful tasks ensures that energy and time are invested where they matter most. Progress is accelerated when focus is directed toward activities that produce measurable benefits rather than perfectionist tendencies that slow action. Strategic prioritization makes growth efficient, purposeful, and sustainable. Self-reflection amplifies awareness of progress. Regularly reviewing what has been accomplished, what has been learned, and how far you have come reinforces motivation and builds confidence. Reflection also identifies areas for improvement and highlights the impact of consistent effort, creating a cycle of learning and achievement. Evaluating progress objectively prevents stagnation and fosters continuous growth. Positive reinforcement strengthens commitment to progress. Rewarding yourself for completed tasks, lessons learned, or milestones achieved creates emotional support for consistent effort. Reinforcement does not require external validation. Internal acknowledgement, journaling accomplishments, or taking moments of pause to appreciate advancement are effective. Celebrating effort reinforces constructive habits and maintains high motivation. Developing patience is essential when focusing on progress. Significant goals rarely produce immediate results, and delayed outcomes are normal. Understanding that sustained effort compounds over time allows you to remain disciplined and reduces frustration. Patience encourages steady action, perseverance, and appreciation of incremental achievements. The combination of consistent effort and patience produces long-term results that perfection alone cannot achieve. Resilience is reinforced when progress is prioritized over perfection. Continuous effort builds skill, confidence, and adaptability, enabling you to navigate challenges with greater ease. By valuing improvement rather than flawless performance, obstacles become manageable and motivation remains strong. Resilience ensures that momentum is maintained even in the face of difficulty, setbacks, or slow progress. Celebrating progress nurtures a positive emotional state. Acknowledging accomplishments, learning, and growth generates satisfaction, pride, and optimism. Positive emotions reinforce continued effort, reduce self-criticism, and strengthen commitment to long-term goals. Emotional reinforcement sustains focus, energy, and persistence, creating an upward cycle of achievement. Focus on effort rather than outcome maintains clarity and motivation. When energy is devoted to consistent action, skill development, and learning, results become a natural byproduct. By valuing effort, you reduce fear of failure, increase confidence, and maintain momentum. Effort-oriented focus shifts attention from external validation to internal control, creating sustainable growth and achievement. Accountability to yourself strengthens progress-oriented behavior. Tracking completion, evaluating lessons, and holding yourself responsible for consistent action fosters discipline and self-reliance. Personal accountability reinforces confidence, encourages reflection, and sustains motivation even when external recognition is absent. Self-accountability ensures that progress remains continuous, deliberate, and meaningful. Ultimately, prioritizing progress over perfection transforms the way you approach goals, challenges, and personal development. Small, consistent steps, acknowledgement of effort, reflection, and celebration of wins create momentum that compounds into remarkable achievement. By valuing improvement rather than flawlessness, you cultivate resilience, motivation, and confidence that sustain long-term growth. Progress-focused action is practical, empowering, and transformative, producing results far beyond what chasing perfection alone can achieve. Chapter 8. Nurture Gratitude. by naming 3 things you value now. Gratitude has the power to shift your entire perspective and transform the way you experience life by bringing attention to what is working, what is meaningful, and what you already possess. Focusing on 3 things you value in the present moment is a simple yet profoundly effective way to cultivate appreciation, improve mental clarity, and strengthen emotional resilience. By intentionally recognizing these elements daily, you train your mind to notice abundance rather than scarcity, opportunity rather than limitation, and joy rather than frustration. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges, it is about balancing perspective so that even in difficulty, you can find stability, purpose, and motivation to move forward. The first step is slowing down to truly notice your surroundings and internal state. Take a moment to pause and reflect on aspects of your life that provide fulfillment, support, or inspiration. These can be tangible or intangible, relationships, personal qualities, achievements, routines, or simple experiences that bring comfort or satisfaction. Focusing on 3 specific things helps to anchor the mind in concrete examples rather than abstract ideas, creating a strong foundation for habitual appreciation. Naming them aloud or writing them down increases the sense of presence and makes gratitude a tangible practice. Recognizing what you value shifts attention from problems to possibilities. The human mind naturally gravitates toward what is missing or imperfect, but this tendency can be countered with intentional acknowledgement of existing resources. Identifying 3 meaningful things daily fosters a mindset that seeks solutions, nurtures hope, and strengthens resilience. It creates a mental habit where challenges are faced with clarity and strength, rather than discouragement. This practice empowers you to approach tasks, decisions, and interactions from a position of abundance rather than lack. Gratitude enhances emotional regulation and mental health. By focusing on what is appreciated, the brain releases positive neurochemicals such as dopamine and serotonin, which improve mood, reduce anxiety, and strengthen focus. The simple act of naming 3 valued elements daily can provide a measurable boost in emotional stability and motivation. It also reduces rumination on negative experiences and decreases stress by reinforcing a sense of safety, satisfaction, and perspective. Over time, this rewires the brain to naturally notice positives even in the midst of challenges. Clarity about personal values strengthens gratitude. Understanding why certain aspects of life are important allows reflection to be deeper and more meaningful. Each valued element represents an anchor that connects you to purpose, identity, and direction. For example, appreciating your health is more impactful when it is connected to your ability to pursue goals, enjoy life, and contribute to others. Gratitude anchored in value provides more than temporary comfort. It reinforces intentional living and decision-making, aligned with long-term objectives. Creating a daily habit of naming 3 things you value builds consistency and reinforces perspective. Choosing a specific time each day to reflect, such as morning, during a break, or before bed, ensures that this practice becomes an integrated part of life rather than an occasional exercise. Habitual reflection creates a pattern of recognition that gradually shifts your natural focus toward positivity, growth, and constructive action. The repetition of gratitude strengthens mental resilience, motivation, and emotional awareness over time. Mindfulness enhances the effectiveness of this practice. Being present while identifying what you value ensures that attention is fully focused and internalized. Observing the details, sensations, and impact of these elements deepens appreciation and allows for richer emotional connection. Mindful awareness transforms gratitude from a mechanical exercise into a lived experience, making each recognition emotionally and psychologically reinforcing. Gratitude reinforces relationships and social connections. Recognizing and valuing the presence, support, or contributions of others strengthens bonds, increases empathy, and fosters mutual respect. Acknowledging people or experiences that positively influence your life encourages stronger collaboration, trust, and communication. By naming these elements, you enhance the quality of interactions, deepen connections, and create an environment where positivity and respect are reciprocated. Journaling 3 things you value daily adds a layer of tangible accountability. Writing them down solidifies awareness, reinforces memory, and allows you to revisit and reflect on progress over time. A record of gratitude provides evidence of abundance, personal growth, and resilience during difficult periods. This practice also allows identification of patterns in what brings fulfillment, offering guidance for prioritizing time, energy, and effort in alignment with meaningful elements. Celebrating the small things cultivates sustained positivity. Gratitude does not need to focus solely on major achievements or grand moments. Noticing everyday experiences, like a meaningful conversation, a completed task, or a peaceful moment, creates consistent reinforcement of positive perception. Appreciating these small aspects prevents taking life for granted, enhances emotional balance, and reminds you that fulfillment is built cumulatively rather than by singular events. Reflection on the impact of valued elements deepens gratitude. Consider how each recognized item contributes to your growth, stability, or enjoyment. For instance, acknowledging a supportive colleague highlights the importance of collaboration, while appreciating your skills reinforces self-confidence. This type of reflection converts passive recognition into actionable awareness, guiding future choices and reinforcing alignment with personal goals and values. Gratitude encourages a solution-oriented mindset. Recognizing what is present and valuable enhances creativity and problem-solving by focusing on resources and potential rather than limitations. When the mind emphasizes what is working, it becomes easier to identify opportunities, leverage strengths, and navigate challenges with confidence. Daily acknowledgement of valued elements strengthens adaptive thinking and proactive engagement. Consistency in this practice magnifies its benefits. Daily commitment to identifying 3 valued elements builds a mental framework where positive perception becomes automatic. Over time, the mind shifts from noticing scarcity or flaws to actively seeking abundance and opportunity. Consistent gratitude reinforces self-awareness, strengthens mental resilience, and maintains motivation toward goals, even during periods of challenge or uncertainty. Sharing gratitude can amplify its effects. Expressing appreciation to others increases positive emotions, strengthens relationships, and reinforces the habit of recognition. Acknowledging the value of people, experiences, or opportunities externally complements internal reflection, creating a cycle of positivity that extends beyond yourself. The act of giving recognition reinforces the significance of what you value and encourages reciprocation in relationships. Gratitude also enhances self-respect and confidence. Recognizing personal strengths, achievements, and qualities reinforces belief in capability and worth. Daily acknowledgement of these aspects cultivates a sense of empowerment and self-efficacy. By appreciating your own efforts and abilities, you strengthen internal motivation, reduce self-criticism, and develop a balanced perspective on growth and achievement. The practice of naming 3 things you value cultivates resilience. During challenging or uncertain times, gratitude provides a stable anchor that reminds you of what is positive, enduring, and within your control. This perspective reduces emotional overwhelm, enhances decision-making, and reinforces the ability to continue pursuing goals despite setbacks. Gratitude becomes both a shield and a motivator, sustaining effort and focus. Integration into a structured routine ensures that gratitude is sustained. Pairing the practice with other daily rituals, such as journaling, meditation, or reflection, increases effectiveness and consistency. Structured integration ensures that gratitude is not a sporadic response, but a deliberate, reliable practice that shapes mindset and behavior continuously. Finally, gratitude transforms perception and action by emphasizing abundance, recognition, and purpose. Naming 3 things you value each day fosters clarity, emotional stability, and motivation. It trains the mind to notice positive aspects, appreciate contributions, and cultivate intentionality. Over time, this practice strengthens resilience, nurtures relationships, reinforces self-belief, and enhances overall well-being. By consistently valuing what is present now, you create a mindset capable of navigating challenges, seizing opportunities, and living with purpose, focus, and fulfillment. Chapter 9. Practice deliberate rest to recharge body, mind, and creativity. Rest is not a luxury. It is a necessity for sustaining energy, clarity, and creativity, and it is the foundation upon which productivity, focus, and long-term growth are built. True performance and meaningful progress require deliberate pauses that allow the body to recover, the mind to reset, and the creative process to flourish. Without intentional rest, even the most disciplined effort becomes less effective, decisions are clouded, and motivation dwindles. Practicing deliberate rest means treating recovery as an integral part of your daily routine rather than an afterthought, understanding that periods of stillness and renewal directly enhance your capacity to act, innovate, and thrive. The first step in practicing deliberate rest is recognizing its value. Many people equate busyness with productivity, ignoring that prolonged effort without recovery leads to fatigue, burnout, and diminished performance. Rest is not idleness or weakness. It is a strategic choice that preserves energy, strengthens focus, and supports sustained accomplishment. Viewing rest as an essential component of success rather than a guilty indulgence transforms how you approach work, life, and personal growth. Physical rest begins with quality sleep. Sleep restores the body, consolidates memory, enhances cognitive performance, and regulates emotional balance. Prioritizing consistent sleep schedules, creating an environment conducive to relaxation, and allowing sufficient hours for rest ensures that energy is replenished and decision-making remains sharp. Physical recovery is foundational because a fatigued body limits endurance, slows thought processes, and weakens resilience, making intentional rest a strategic investment in effectiveness. Short breaks throughout the day complement extended periods of sleep. Deliberate pauses between tasks prevent mental fatigue, improve concentration, and enhance productivity. Engaging in brief moments of stillness, stretching, or mindful breathing allows the nervous system to reset, increasing alertness and creativity. These interludes refresh the mind, reduce stress, and prevent energy depletion, ensuring that focus remains high when attention is required. Mental rest is equally critical. Constant exposure to information, tasks, and decision-making demands can exhaust cognitive resources. Practicing mental rest involves intentionally stepping away from active thinking, multitasking, or problem-solving to allow the mind to recover. This can include meditation, quiet reflection, or engaging in low-stimulation activities that do not require analytical effort. Mental downtime strengthens clarity, improves memory retention, and fosters problem-solving capacity by allowing the brain to process information subconsciously. Creativity thrives during periods of deliberate rest. Ideas often emerge, not in the midst of effort, but during moments of relaxation, reflection, or diversion. By stepping away from work and allowing the mind to wander, connections between previously unrelated concepts become visible, fostering innovation and insight. Deliberate rest is not a break from productivity, but a strategic tool for enhancing imagination, developing solutions, and generating original thought. Boundaries around rest are essential. Protecting time for recovery requires intentional scheduling and a willingness to say no to activities that interfere with rejuvenation. Just as you guard time for work, prioritizing periods of rest ensures that recovery is consistent and effective. Treating rest as non-negotiable reinforces discipline, prevents energy depletion, and maintains long-term performance. Establishing limits around work, social engagement, and digital activity creates a structured framework that honors the necessity of renewal. Mindfulness enhances the impact of rest. Being fully present during periods of recovery ensures that the mind and body gain maximum benefit. Avoiding distractions and consciously focusing on relaxation or restorative activity allows energy to be replenished more effectively. Mindful rest increases awareness of personal needs, reduces stress, and strengthens the ability to engage fully when action resumes. Presence during recovery turns simple breaks into powerful catalysts for improved performance. Active recovery supports deliberate rest. Light movement, gentle exercise, or nature walks promote circulation, reduce tension, and restore vitality without creating additional fatigue. Engaging the body in restorative activity complements passive rest by balancing energy systems, enhancing mood, and preparing both mind and body for sustained effort. Combining passive and active forms of recovery ensures holistic rejuvenation and strengthens resilience. Emotional rest is equally important. Constant emotional engagement, stress, or conflict can drain energy even when physical demands are low. Deliberate rest involves stepping back from emotionally taxing situations, practicing self-compassion, and allowing space for reflection. This replenishes patience, perspective, and emotional stability, ensuring that decisions and interactions remain balanced and constructive. Protecting emotional energy enhances resilience, focus, and long-term well-being. Incorporating deliberate rest into routines improves overall productivity. Paradoxically, stepping away from work or problem-solving allows for higher efficiency when returning to tasks. Energy, focus, and clarity are restored, enabling sharper analysis, faster execution, and higher quality output. Deliberate pauses prevent diminishing returns caused by continuous effort, ensuring that performance remains optimal throughout the day. Preparation enhances the quality of rest. Planning work, setting boundaries, and completing essential tasks before rest periods reduce anxiety, mental clutter, and distractions. Knowing that obligations are managed allows relaxation to be fully effective. Preparing for downtime maximizes the restorative benefits and ensures that recovery contributes directly to future performance rather than being interrupted by lingering concerns. Reflection during rest strengthens personal growth. Periods of downtime allow evaluation of achievements, lessons learned, and adjustments needed for improvement. Reflection transforms rest from a passive activity into a proactive practice, enhancing learning, strategic planning, and self-awareness. Deliberate pauses create mental space to synthesize experiences, integrate knowledge, and prepare for upcoming challenges. Digital rest is a crucial aspect of modern recovery. Reducing exposure to constant notifications, social media, and screens minimizes cognitive fatigue, enhances focus, and protects attention. Establishing device-free periods allows the mind to disengage from overstimulation, fostering creativity, mindfulness, and emotional calm. Digital boundaries during rest periods ensure that recovery is uninterrupted and impactful. Intentional breaks from high-pressure environments prevent burnout. Continuous exposure to stress diminishes energy, focus, and motivation over time. Deliberate rest within daily routines, weekends, or vacations replenishes resources, strengthens resilience, and maintains long-term effectiveness. Strategic disengagement safeguards well-being and sustains the ability to pursue goals without compromising mental or physical health. Gratitude enhances the restorative effect of rest. Reflecting on accomplishments, positive experiences, and aspects of life you value increases emotional satisfaction, reduces stress, and promotes relaxation. Gratitude during rest periods amplifies the sense of rejuvenation and reinforces positive mental frameworks that support motivation, creativity, and engagement when returning to action. Sleep, mental pauses, active recovery, emotional disengagement, and mindful reflection work together to create a comprehensive approach to deliberate rest. By integrating these practices consistently, energy is preserved, clarity is enhanced, and creative capacity is amplified. Rest becomes a proactive, strategic practice that supports long-term personal growth, resilience, and achievement. Ultimately, practicing deliberate rest is an act of self-respect and intelligent planning. It acknowledges that sustainable success requires cycles of activity and recovery. By prioritizing rest, you maximize energy, sharpen focus, and strengthen creative potential, enabling higher performance, better decision-making, and consistent progress toward meaningful goals. Recovery is not optional. It is essential for living intentionally, achieving consistently, and sustaining personal and professional growth. Chapter 10. Visualize the person you want and act like them. Your future is not determined by chance, but by the image you hold of yourself and the actions you take to become that person. Visualizing the person you want to be is a powerful tool because it creates a clear target for your thoughts, decisions, and behavior, guiding every choice toward alignment with your highest potential. The mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined reality and a current one in terms of behavioral cues, which means that consistent visualization shapes habits, boosts confidence, and strengthens resolve. Acting as if you are already that person bridges the gap between aspiration and achievement, transforming ideals into practical, lived experience. The first step is creating a precise and detailed image of who you want to become. This involves identifying qualities, behaviors, skills, and attitudes that define your best self. Clarity is critical. The more specific the vision, the more effectively it guides decision-making and action. Consider character traits, professional abilities, relationships, daily habits, and emotional responses. By creating a comprehensive mental picture, you provide the mind with a template to emulate, making it easier to align current behavior with long-term goals. Visualization engages both conscious and subconscious processes. When you repeatedly picture the person you want to be, your brain begins to internalize the behaviors and attitudes associated with that image. Neural pathways develop in response to imagined practice, reinforcing patterns of thought and action. This mental rehearsal reduces hesitation, enhances confidence, and primes you for actual behavior. By training the mind in advance, challenges become less intimidating and opportunities easier to recognize and act upon. Acting like the person you want to be requires consistent alignment between thought, word, and action. It is not enough to imagine success. Behaviors must reflect that vision in real-world decisions. Begin by identifying daily actions that exemplify the desired qualities. For instance, if the envisioned self is disciplined, prioritize structure and consistency in daily routines. If the ideal self is confident, Practice assertive communication and intentional body language. Each deliberate action reinforces the mental image and accelerates transformation. Consistency strengthens the impact of visualization and action. Daily commitment to embodying the desired self ensures that habits are reinforced and identity gradually shifts. Small, repeated choices aligned with the envisioned person accumulate over time, producing noticeable behavioral and attitudinal changes. Consistency bridges the gap between vision and reality, turning abstract aspiration into measurable progress. Reflection enhances the process of visualization and embodiment. At the end of each day, review decisions, actions, and reactions through the lens of your ideal self. Identify moments of alignment and areas needing adjustment. Honest reflection builds self-awareness, reinforces accountability, and fine-tunes behavior. By continually evaluating progress, you ensure that efforts remain purposeful and aligned with the person you want to become. Visualization also strengthens resilience. By imagining how your ideal self handles challenges, setbacks, and difficult emotions, you create a mental blueprint for navigating adversity. This pre-experienced guidance reduces uncertainty, reinforces confidence, and encourages deliberate action in the face of obstacles. Seeing yourself respond with composure, determination, and clarity makes it easier to replicate these behaviors in real life, strengthening both mental toughness and emotional intelligence. Positive self-talk complements visualization and action. Speaking to yourself in ways that reflect the attributes of your ideal self reinforces belief in capability and alignment. Affirmations that emphasize strengths, potential, and perseverance strengthen motivation and reduce self-doubt. Language shapes thought patterns, and by consistently framing your inner dialogue around the person you aim to be, you cultivate the mindset necessary to support consistent action and growth. Role modeling accelerates the process. Observing individuals who embody traits you aspire to and studying their habits provides concrete examples for emulation. Learn from their decisions, discipline, communication style, and emotional responses. Integrating these observed behaviors into daily practice complements visualization, offering tangible strategies to reinforce alignment with your ideal self. Combining mental imagery with real-world examples strengthens both competence and confidence. Setting incremental goals aligned with your envisioned self ensures that progress is tangible and measurable. Break long-term aspirations into specific, actionable steps that reflect the qualities of the person you want to become. Each completed goal provides evidence of capability, reinforces identity, and maintains momentum. Incremental progress reinforces belief in transformation and motivates continued alignment with the envisioned self. Visualization enhances decision-making. When faced with choices, ask how the person you want to be would act. This internal reference point guides behavior, reduces impulsivity, and strengthens consistency with long-term objectives. Decisions made from the perspective of the ideal self are more likely to support growth, integrity, and effectiveness. Over time, this approach cultivates a natural alignment between daily action and aspirational identity. Energy management is strengthened by adopting the behaviors of your ideal self. When visualizing and acting like a disciplined, focused, or resilient person, you automatically make choices that conserve energy, prioritize essential tasks, and reduce engagement in low-value activities. Embodying the desired self creates internal motivation to structure life in ways that support sustained performance and long-term achievement. Confidence grows as visualization and deliberate action reinforce each other. Each time behavior aligns with the ideal self, you create proof of capability, which strengthens belief in potential. Confidence increases resilience, encourages risk-taking, and enhances performance in personal, professional, and social contexts. Acting consistently in alignment with your vision creates a feedback loop where belief and behavior reinforce one another, accelerating growth and transformation. Mindfulness improves the quality of visualization. Paying attention to thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations while imagining the ideal self deepens engagement and strengthens neural conditioning. Detailed sensory involvement, seeing posture, hearing tone of voice, feeling composure makes mental rehearsal more effective. Mindful visualization enhances readiness, reduces anxiety, and makes transition from imagined behavior to actual practice seamless. Overcoming limiting beliefs is facilitated by visualization. By mentally rehearsing success and competence, self-doubt is reduced, fear of failure is managed, and confidence is reinforced. Visualizing the ideal self allows you to confront challenges proactively, replacing hesitation with deliberate action. Belief in personal capability grows with each repeated mental rehearsal and corresponding real-world behavior. Reflection on alignment ensures that visualization translates into action. Assess whether daily choices, habits, and interactions reflect the qualities of the person you want to become. Identifying misalignments allows timely adjustments and prevents drift from intended identity. This practice fosters accountability, self-awareness, and consistency, ensuring that the mental image produces tangible transformation. Persistence is key to bridging vision and reality. Transformation does not occur overnight, and challenges may test commitment. By repeatedly visualizing, acting, and reflecting, the mind and body internalize the attributes of the desired self. Persistence reinforces habit formation, strengthens neural pathways, and solidifies identity, ensuring that the person you imagine becomes the person you consistently embody. Ultimately, visualizing the person you want and acting like them transforms not only behavior but mindset, identity, and trajectory. Mental rehearsal, deliberate action, consistent reflection, and alignment with personal values create a path from aspiration to reality. By embodying your ideal self in every decision, interaction, and habit, you cultivate confidence, resilience, focus, and purpose. Transformation becomes intentional, measurable, and sustainable, turning vision into lived experience and potential into achievement. Chapter 11. Affirm your worth daily and refuse negative self-talk. You are inherently valuable and capable of far more than you often give yourself credit for, and recognizing this truth daily is the most powerful foundation for growth, confidence, and fulfillment. Affirming your worth is not about arrogance or ignoring areas for improvement. It is about creating a mindset that refuses to accept self-doubt, criticism, or limiting beliefs as ultimate authority over your actions and choices. Negative self-talk is a learned habit, and unless actively challenged, it silently undermines your confidence, clouds judgment, and diminishes motivation. Refusing to internalize these harmful patterns while consistently affirming your intrinsic value reshapes perception, strengthens resilience, and empowers you to pursue goals with clarity and conviction. The first step is cultivating awareness of your inner dialogue. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise spontaneously, especially those that criticize, diminish, or doubt your abilities. Negative self-talk often manifests as automatic reactions to challenges, mistakes, or setbacks, and recognizing it is essential for change. Once identified, these thoughts can be questioned, reframed, or replaced with affirmations that reinforce self-worth and capability. Awareness is the bridge between unconscious limitation and conscious empowerment. Daily affirmations are a practical tool for reinforcing self-value. These statements, when repeated intentionally, train the mind to accept positive beliefs as reality. Affirmations should be clear, specific, and grounded in truth. Examples include acknowledging strengths, resilience, effort, and unique qualities. Repetition solidifies these messages in the subconscious, gradually reducing the frequency and impact of negative self-talk. Over time, affirmations become internalized, influencing thought patterns, behavior, and decision-making in ways that support growth and self-respect. Refusing negative self-talk requires deliberate action and consistency. When self-critical thoughts arise, consciously interrupt them by either challenging their accuracy or replacing them with constructive alternatives. For instance, if you think, "I'm not good enough," respond with a fact-based affirmation such as, "I am capable, I am learning, and I can handle this challenge." This practice strengthens mental discipline, reinforces self-esteem, and reduces the power of automatic negative thoughts. Each conscious correction rewires the brain toward positivity and confidence. Understanding your intrinsic value is key to affirming self-worth. Worth is not determined by accomplishments, external approval, or comparison with others. It exists inherently in who you are. Embracing this perspective allows confidence to emerge independently of circumstance, validation, or success. When worth is internalized, self-talk aligns with reality rather than fluctuating with setbacks or criticism, creating stability, emotional balance, and resilience in all areas of life. Connecting affirmations to action reinforces authenticity. Words alone are not sufficient. Demonstrating your value through effort, consistency, and integrity strengthens the mind-body connection and amplifies confidence. Taking deliberate steps toward goals, showing kindness and respect, and honoring personal boundaries communicate self-worth both internally and externally. Action confirms belief, transforming affirmation from mere statement into lived reality. Self-compassion is an essential complement to affirming worth. Being gentle with yourself during mistakes or challenges reduces harsh self-criticism and strengthens resilience. Recognizing effort, learning, and perseverance, rather than focusing solely on outcomes, builds a positive internal environment. Self-compassion provides the emotional support necessary to sustain affirmations and resist negative self-talk, making personal growth sustainable and empowering. Environment influences self-perception, and cultivating supportive surroundings reinforces self-worth. Surround yourself with people, content, and experiences that uplift, inspire, and encourage. Limiting exposure to negative influences, toxic criticism, or constant comparison reduces triggers for self-doubt and creates space for affirmations to take root. A supportive environment acts as a mirror, reflecting and reinforcing the value you are committing to acknowledge within yourself. Mindfulness enhances awareness and control over internal dialogue. By observing thoughts without judgment, you create the space to respond intentionally rather than react automatically. This practice allows for recognition of patterns, identification of triggers, and conscious redirection toward constructive, affirming language. Mindfulness transforms negative self-talk from an automatic reaction into an opportunity for conscious growth and empowerment. Visualization strengthens affirmations and reduces negative self-talk. Picture yourself embodying confidence, resilience, and capability in various situations. Visualization activates neural pathways associated with successful behavior, preparing the mind and body to act in alignment with self-worth. Seeing yourself overcome challenges, express strength, and achieve goals reinforces belief in intrinsic value and increases the likelihood of consistent action that reflects affirmations. Accountability accelerates the process of affirming worth. Sharing intentions and progress with trusted individuals provides external reinforcement and encouragement. Mentors, peers, or supportive friends can remind you of strengths, validate achievements and offer perspective when self-doubt arises. Accountability strengthens commitment to positive self-talk and ensures that affirmations translate into consistent, authentic behavior. Tracking progress reinforces self-value. Documenting achievements, moments of resilience, and instances of growth provides tangible evidence of capability and worth. Reviewing these records reminds you of strengths and accomplishments, countering negativity with factual support. Tracking also allows identification of recurring challenges, providing insight into areas for focused improvement without undermining self-esteem. Boundaries protect self-worth. Refusing to internalize criticism or negativity from others preserves mental and emotional energy. Establishing limits with toxic relationships, unreasonable demands, or environments that erode confidence ensures that affirmations and positive self-talk can thrive. Boundaries are an active expression of belief in intrinsic value and reinforce internal alignment with personal goals and standards. Reframing setbacks is crucial. Challenges, failures, and mistakes do not define worth. Instead, they provide opportunities for learning, growth, and resilience. By interpreting difficulties through a constructive lens, you maintain affirming internal dialogue and resist slipping into negative self-talk. This perspective transforms obstacles into tools for strengthening confidence, competence, and personal development. Consistent practice strengthens neural pathways associated with positive self-perception. Every repetition of affirming self-worth and rejecting negativity rewires thought patterns, gradually reducing the automatic emergence of self-doubt. Over time, positive self-talk becomes the default, and the mind naturally supports growth, courage, and resilience without conscious effort. Consistency is the key to transforming habit into identity. Gratitude enhances self-affirmation. Recognizing personal qualities, achievements, and opportunities provides tangible evidence of worth. Gratitude complements affirmations by reinforcing positive perception and highlighting real-life contributions and capabilities. This combination strengthens confidence, emotional stability, and motivation, creating a resilient mindset capable of navigating challenges and pursuing goals with clarity and determination. Energy management is supported by affirming worth and rejecting negative self-talk. When internal dialogue is positive and self-respecting, mental and emotional energy is preserved rather than drained by doubt, guilt, or criticism. This conserved energy enables greater focus, sustained action, and improved problem-solving capacity, ensuring that potential is maximized in every domain of life. Ultimately, affirming your worth daily and refusing negative self-talk transforms the relationship you have with yourself. It strengthens confidence, nurtures resilience, enhances focus, and provides the mental clarity necessary to pursue meaningful goals. By consistently recognizing intrinsic value, challenging limiting thoughts, and reinforcing belief through action and reflection, self-perception aligns with capability. This alignment fosters sustained personal growth, empowerment, and the ability to navigate life with intentionality, courage, and purpose. Chapter 12. Plan your day with purpose and prioritize top tasks. Every successful day begins with intention and clarity, because planning with purpose transforms chaos into focus, direction, and meaningful accomplishment. A day without a plan is like a river without a channel. Energy dissipates, priorities are ignored, and results are inconsistent. Taking deliberate control of how you spend each hour allows you to align effort with goals, maximize productivity, and cultivate a sense of achievement that fuels motivation and confidence. Planning with purpose is not about rigid schedules, but about intentionally choosing where to invest time and energy to create measurable progress in all areas of life. The first step is identifying your top priorities. Every day, there are countless tasks competing for attention, but not all contribute equally to your long-term objectives or personal growth. Determine which tasks will have the most impact on your goals, well-being, and relationships. These are the actions that deserve your focused energy, while lesser activities should be delegated, delayed, or eliminated. Prioritization transforms overwhelming lists into actionable plans that move you closer to meaningful results. Breaking the day into structured segments increases efficiency. Allocating specific blocks of time for high-value tasks ensures that energy is applied when focus is strongest. Recognize periods of peak alertness and schedule critical work during these windows to maximize productivity. Routine planning prevents decision fatigue and ensures that attention is directed toward what matters most. Structure also creates predictability, reduces stress, and allows for consistent momentum throughout the day. Morning preparation sets the tone for purposeful action. Starting the day with clarity about priorities, objectives, and intentions empowers focus, reduces procrastination, and enhances confidence. Consider reviewing goals, listing tasks in order of importance, and visualizing completion to reinforce direction. A clear morning plan provides a roadmap for action, ensuring that energy is directed at impactful activities rather than reactive, low-value distractions. Prioritizing top tasks requires distinguishing between urgency and importance. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention but are not always aligned with meaningful goals, while important tasks contribute directly to growth, success, and well-being. Focusing on high-impact actions rather than reacting to constant urgencies prevents wasted effort and positions you to achieve substantial progress consistently. Learning to differentiate and choose wisely is a critical skill in effective daily planning. Intentional time management preserves energy and focus. Avoid scattering attention across numerous low-priority tasks, which reduces efficiency and increases mental fatigue. Concentrate on completing one high-value task at a time, using time blocks, focused effort, and minimal distraction to maximize quality and speed. Deep work produces superior results and creates a sense of accomplishment that propels the day forward. Flexibility within planning is essential. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected events or interruptions occur. Purposeful planning does not require rigidity. It allows adjustments while maintaining alignment with core priorities. By having a clear understanding of what truly matters, you can adapt without losing focus, ensuring that energy remains directed toward meaningful outcomes. Flexibility reduces stress and reinforces resilience in dynamic environments. Reflection strengthens planning effectiveness. At the end of each day, review completed tasks, accomplishments, and areas needing adjustment. Reflection clarifies patterns, highlights successes, and identifies opportunities for improved efficiency. Evaluating how time was spent provides insight into personal productivity, decision-making, and alignment with long-term goals. This practice informs future planning and ensures continual refinement of daily strategies. Visualizing completion enhances motivation. Mentally rehearsing the successful execution of tasks creates anticipation, reinforces commitment, and strengthens follow-through. Visualization primes the brain for action, reduces hesitation, and increases confidence in achieving outcomes. When the mind anticipates completion, effort becomes more intentional, focused, and consistent, turning abstract goals into tangible reality. Delegation and simplification optimize results. Recognizing that not every task requires your direct involvement allows energy to be concentrated on activities where impact is greatest. Delegating, automating, or eliminating low-priority responsibilities frees time for critical actions and prevents unnecessary stress. Simplification enhances focus, productivity, and clarity by reducing clutter and ensuring that attention is applied to what matters most. Accountability supports adherence to daily plans. Sharing objectives, priorities, or progress with mentors, colleagues, or peers reinforces commitment and provides external motivation. Accountability ensures that tasks are approached with seriousness, reflection, and discipline, reducing procrastination and enhancing completion rates. External accountability complements internal commitment, creating a feedback loop that strengthens purpose-driven action. Intentional breaks sustain energy and prevent burnout. Planning should include moments for rest, nutrition, and mental recovery to maintain focus and clarity throughout the day. These pauses ensure that high-priority tasks are executed with optimal energy and attention. By scheduling recovery periods, productivity is enhanced and consistent progress is maintained, creating a balanced approach to effort and renewal. A visualization of daily goals strengthens focus on top priorities. Begin each morning by mentally walking through tasks, anticipating challenges, and imagining successful execution. This mental rehearsal builds readiness, reinforces commitment, and reduces resistance to action. Visualization integrates planning with motivation, ensuring that effort remains aligned with intention throughout the day. Setting realistic expectations enhances productivity. Overloading the day with tasks beyond capacity leads to frustration, stress, and reduced effectiveness. Purposeful planning involves evaluating what can reasonably be accomplished while maintaining quality and energy. By matching ambition with realistic execution, focus remains sharp, confidence is reinforced, and accomplishments are consistent, creating momentum for sustained achievement. Mindfulness ensures that attention remains aligned with planned priorities. Avoid multitasking and remain fully engaged with the task at hand to maximize quality and efficiency. Mindful focus prevents distraction, reduces error, and strengthens satisfaction with completed work. By maintaining presence in each activity, effort produces greater impact and reinforces a sense of mastery over the day. Positive reinforcement motivates adherence to plans. Acknowledging completed tasks, milestones, or accomplishments provides emotional support, reinforces commitment, and builds confidence. Celebrating progress, even small achievements, strengthens the internal drive to continue purposeful action and reinforces the habit of deliberate planning. Positive reinforcement sustains momentum and ensures consistent alignment with meaningful objectives. Strategic sequencing of tasks enhances effectiveness. Ordering activities based on importance, energy requirements, or deadlines ensures that focus is applied optimally. Tackling high-value or challenging tasks early prevents procrastination, reduces stress, and enhances overall productivity. Thoughtful sequencing allows the day to unfold efficiently, balancing effort with recovery while maximizing output and satisfaction. Tracking progress maintains clarity and focus. Documenting task completion, time allocation, and outcomes provides tangible feedback, highlights patterns, and identifies areas for improvement. Progress tracking reinforces motivation, supports accountability, and enables informed adjustments to enhance future planning and prioritization. Visible evidence of accomplishment strengthens confidence and reinforces commitment to purposeful daily action. Ultimately, planning your day with purpose and prioritizing top tasks transforms time into a powerful tool for achievement, growth, and fulfillment. By identifying what truly matters, structuring effort around high-impact actions, maintaining flexibility, and reinforcing accountability, energy is directed toward meaningful progress rather than reactive busyness. Consistent reflection, visualization, and mindful focus ensure that each day contributes to long-term goals, strengthens discipline, and cultivates a sense of accomplishment that fuels confidence, motivation, and sustained personal and professional growth. Chapter 13. Challenge limiting stories by testing beliefs through small experiments. Limiting beliefs hold more power over your life than any external obstacle because they quietly dictate what you think you can and cannot achieve, and challenging them is the gateway to growth, freedom, and untapped potential. Every story you tell yourself about who you are, what you can do, or what is possible shapes behavior, decisions, and outcomes, often more than reality itself. The moment you start testing these beliefs through deliberate experiments, you begin to see that many limitations exist only in the mind, and taking action to disprove them opens doors to new abilities, confidence, and achievement. Transformation starts by questioning assumptions, confronting fears, and engaging directly with evidence that challenges outdated or unhelpful narratives. The first step is identifying the beliefs that are restricting you. Pay attention to recurring thoughts that create hesitation, self-doubt, or excuses. Common examples include assumptions about skills you lack, situations you cannot handle, or outcomes that you believe are beyond reach. Writing these beliefs down brings clarity and allows you to separate fact from story. Awareness is essential because a belief unexamined continues to influence behavior invisibly and powerfully. Next, break down the belief into testable components. Analyze the statement critically and ask whether it is universally true, context-specific, or merely perception-based. For example, if the belief is "I am not good at public speaking," examine which specific situations trigger anxiety, what skills are missing, and whether past experiences justify the conclusion. Deconstructing the belief turns a vague limitation into actionable elements that can be systematically challenged. Small experiments are the practical method to test beliefs. These are deliberate actions designed to collect evidence and challenge assumptions without overwhelming risk. Start with low-stakes scenarios that push the boundary of the limiting belief. If you believe you cannot meet deadlines, experiment with completing a small project faster than usual. If you doubt your social skills, initiate a brief conversation with someone new. Each experiment is a data point that informs whether the belief holds true or is an outdated perception. Recording results reinforces learning after each experiment. Reflect on outcomes honestly and objectively. Did the action confirm the limiting belief or contradict it? What did you learn about your capabilities, resources, or mindset? Tracking results creates evidence that can reshape self-perception and diminish fear associated with taking action. Over time, accumulated data strengthens confidence and reduces automatic acceptance of restrictive narratives. Incremental exposure builds competence and confidence. Begin with manageable challenges and gradually increase difficulty as capability grows. This progressive approach prevents discouragement, reinforces skill development, and strengthens resilience. By consistently expanding the boundaries of what is comfortable, you teach your mind that limitation is often a temporary assumption rather than a fixed reality. Mindset shifts occur when evidence contradicts old stories. Observing that success is possible despite previous assumptions gradually rewires thinking patterns. The mind begins to replace fear-driven narratives with fact-based, empowering perspectives. Repetition solidifies this shift, turning small victories into lasting cognitive transformation. Each experiment builds a foundation of proof that challenges self-imposed limits. Reflection enhances the power of each experiment. Ask questions such as, What did I learn about my capabilities? How did this experience differ from my expectations? What strategies worked, and what needs adjustment? Deep reflection transforms action into insight, ensuring that each attempt strengthens understanding, self-awareness, and confidence in the ability to challenge future limitations. Visualization complements experiments by mentally rehearsing success. Imagine engaging with scenarios that previously felt impossible, focusing on actions, emotions, and desired outcomes. Visualization primes the mind, reduces fear, and increases preparedness for real-world application. Combining mental rehearsal with actual experimentation amplifies learning, resilience, and the likelihood of success. Supportive accountability accelerates belief testing. Sharing goals, experiments, and reflections with mentors, coaches, or peers encourages commitment, provides perspective, and reinforces positive feedback. External accountability adds structure and motivation, ensuring that experiments are executed with intentionality and that insights are applied consistently. Collaboration strengthens learning and reinforces confidence. Failure is reframed as feedback rather than proof of limitation. Experiments do not have to succeed perfectly to be valuable. Every attempt provides information, highlights areas for improvement, and clarifies assumptions. By viewing challenges as data points rather than judgments of worth or capability, you create a mindset of curiosity and resilience. Failure becomes an essential component of growth rather than a reason to retreat. Challenging beliefs also involves questioning the origin of stories. Many limiting narratives are inherited from past experiences, cultural expectations, or other people's opinions. Recognizing that these stories are not absolute truth allows for conscious evaluation and choice. You gain control over which beliefs to retain, adjust, or discard, replacing inherited limitations with personally validated insights. Courage grows with repeated experimentation. Each time you confront a belief, discomfort decreases and confidence increases. Exposure to uncertainty and challenge strengthens the mental and emotional capacity to act decisively, reinforcing the notion that limitation is often imagined rather than real. Courage is built through action, reflection, and incremental proof. Belief testing enhances problem solving. By examining assumptions and exploring alternative approaches, you expand perspective and creativity. Experiments force innovation, adaptation, and strategic thinking. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to learn not only about limitations, but also about resources, strategies, and the capacity for growth. Consistency amplifies transformation. Regularly challenging restrictive beliefs ensures that new, empowering narratives replace outdated ones. Habitual evaluation and experimentation train the mind to question assumptions automatically, creating a continuous cycle of learning, growth, and self-improvement. Over time, this practice reshapes identity, confidence, and behavior, producing sustainable change. Positive reinforcements solidifies progress. Celebrate each small victory, insight, or successful experiment. Recognition of achievement strengthens motivation, reinforces belief in capability, and encourages ongoing action. Gratitude for learning experiences, regardless of immediate success, cultivates resilience and a constructive mindset. Flexibility enhances experimentation. Not every approach will yield immediate results, and adjusting methods is part of the process. Openness to alternative strategies, feedback, and reflection ensures that experiments are effective and lessons are fully integrated. Flexibility prevents discouragement and supports continuous progress. Ultimately, challenging limiting stories through small experiments transforms self-perception, capability, and potential. By identifying restrictive beliefs, designing low-risk experiments, analyzing outcomes, reflecting deeply, and repeating consistently, you gather evidence that undermines fear-driven narratives and builds confidence. This process rewires thought patterns, strengthens resilience, and provides a framework for approaching life with curiosity, courage, and intentional action. Testing beliefs is a practical, empowering path to liberation from self-imposed limits, allowing you to embrace opportunities, develop skills, and realize aspirations that were previously considered impossible. Chapter 14. Strengthen focus by eliminating distractions and creating clear goals. Focus is the most valuable skill you can cultivate because it determines the quality, speed, and impact of every action you take, and strengthening it requires intentional elimination of distractions and the creation of clear, actionable goals. Without clarity and focus, energy disperses into countless directions, productivity diminishes, and progress becomes inconsistent. By committing to concentrated attention and defining precisely what matters, you channel effort into meaningful results, develop discipline, and build momentum that compounds over time. Focus is not a passive state, but an active choice that shapes every decision, action, and outcome in life. The first step is identifying distractions that fragment attention. Distractions can be external, such as social media, notifications, unnecessary meetings, or background noise, and internal, such as wandering thoughts, worries, or unproductive daydreams. Awareness of what interrupts concentration allows deliberate removal or management of these disruptions. Recognizing both physical and mental distractions ensures that focus is directed only toward high-value activities that align with goals. Next, create an environment conducive to sustained concentration. Arrange your workspace to minimize interruptions, keep only essential materials visible, and establish clear boundaries with others about focus periods. Environmental design supports mental clarity and reduces the effort required to maintain attention. A well-organized, distraction-free setting acts as a signal to the mind that the space is reserved for purposeful action, reinforcing discipline and efficiency. Clear goals provide direction for focused effort. Vague intentions scatter energy and reduce effectiveness, while specific, measurable, and actionable objectives guide every decision and action. Define what must be accomplished within a set time frame and break larger goals into manageable steps. Clear goals serve as a roadmap, enabling prioritization and ensuring that effort produces tangible outcomes rather than random activity. Time blocking is an effective strategy to strengthen focus. Allocate specific periods to concentrate solely on important tasks, minimizing multitasking and interruptions. Deep, uninterrupted work periods allow complex problems to be solved efficiently, creativity to flourish, and skills to develop more effectively. Time blocking structures the day in a way that reserves energy and attention for high-priority activities. Eliminate digital distractions deliberately. Notifications, social media, and constant alerts fragment attention and reduce cognitive performance. Turn off unnecessary notifications, schedule focused work sessions, and create technology-free intervals to preserve mental clarity. Intentional management of digital tools ensures that attention remains on meaningful tasks rather than reactive engagement with low-value inputs. Internal distractions must also be addressed. Unproductive thoughts, self-doubt, and emotional fluctuations can disrupt focus as much as external interruptions. Mindfulness, meditation, or brief reflection can help calm the mind, increase awareness of wandering attention, and strengthen the ability to return promptly to the task at hand. Mental discipline is as important as environmental management for sustaining deep concentration. Prioritization supports effective focus. By identifying high-impact tasks that directly contribute to long-term objectives, Effort is applied where it matters most. Low-value or non-essential activities should be minimized, delegated, or eliminated entirely. Focusing on what truly matters ensures that energy is used efficiently, results are maximized, and progress is consistent. Setting clear boundaries reinforces sustained focus. Communicate limits to colleagues, friends, or family about periods of uninterrupted work. Protecting time ensures that attention is not repeatedly diverted by external demands. Boundaries create a framework where focus is respected, reducing stress and enabling high-quality performance. Regularly reviewing goals maintains clarity and motivation. Daily or weekly check-ins on progress help reaffirm priorities, adjust strategies, and maintain alignment with desired outcomes. Reflection ensures that effort remains purposeful rather than reactive and supports continual refinement of focus strategies. Tracking progress provides tangible feedback, reinforcing commitment and sustaining momentum. Breaks are essential to maintaining peak focus. Short, deliberate pauses prevent cognitive fatigue, refresh mental energy, and improve overall attention span. Incorporating physical movement, mindful breathing, or brief relaxation between focus periods enhances concentration and prevents diminishing returns from extended work without recovery. Deliberate rest is part of a disciplined approach to sustained focus. Visualization strengthens focus by mentally rehearsing goal achievement. Picture completing tasks efficiently, solving problems effectively, and executing actions with precision. Mental rehearsal primes the brain, reinforces intention, and reduces distraction by creating a clear, compelling image of success. Visualization integrates purpose with attention, improving consistency and quality of work. Eliminating multitasking enhances depth and quality of focus. Switching between tasks divides attention, increases errors, and reduces efficiency. Commit to one task at a time, fully engaged, until completion or a significant milestone is reached. Single tasking improves cognitive performance, reinforces mastery, and builds confidence in capability. Positive reinforcement sustains focus and motivation. Acknowledge completed tasks, progress toward goals, and effective management of attention. Celebrating achievements, even small ones, strengthens the internal drive to maintain concentration, reinforces productive habits, and encourages continued commitment to purposeful action. Recognition fuels energy and sharpens mental clarity. Energy management is critical for focused work. Prioritize tasks during peak alertness periods, fuel the body with nutrition and hydration, and manage fatigue proactively. High-quality focus requires both mental and physical readiness, and intentional energy management ensures sustained attention and effectiveness throughout the day. Accountability amplifies focus. Sharing goals, deadlines, and progress with mentors, peers, or colleagues increases commitment and reduces procrastination. External accountability creates motivation, provides feedback, and strengthens adherence to focus strategies, ensuring that time and energy are applied where they create the most impact. Flexibility ensures that focus is maintained in dynamic circumstances. Adjust strategies when interruptions occur, unexpected demands arise, or priorities shift. Purposeful focus is not rigid. It adapts while remaining aligned with goals. Flexibility preserves attention on high-value tasks, reduces frustration, and ensures consistent progress despite change. Continuous improvement strengthens focus over time. Reflect on what strategies worked, which distractions were most challenging, and how goal clarity affected attention. Adjust approaches, refine techniques, and integrate lessons into future planning. Iterative improvement ensures that focus becomes increasingly resilient, precise, and effective in achieving meaningful outcomes. Ultimately, strengthening focus through the elimination of distractions and the creation of clear goals transforms the way energy is applied, decisions are made, and results are achieved. By managing internal and external interruptions, defining priorities, structuring attention deliberately, and maintaining consistent practice, you cultivate the ability to engage fully with meaningful tasks. Sustained focus produces superior performance, accelerates personal and professional growth, and creates a sense of accomplishment that reinforces discipline, clarity, and long-term success. Chapter 15. Protect your energy by saying no when needed respectfully. Your energy is your most valuable resource, and protecting it is essential for sustained growth, clarity, and success. And learning to say no when necessary is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining focus and balance. Every yes you give comes with an unseen cost of time, attention, and emotional capacity, and unchecked willingness to accommodate everything and everyone often leaves you depleted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from your priorities. Saying no is not selfish. It is a disciplined act of self-respect that safeguards your ability to contribute meaningfully, pursue goals effectively, and maintain personal well-being. Learning to do this respectfully ensures that relationships are preserved while boundaries remain strong, creating an environment where energy is preserved for what truly matters. The first step is developing awareness of where your energy goes. Pay attention to tasks, commitments, and interactions that drain motivation, distract focus, or leave you feeling exhausted. Understanding which situations consume disproportionate energy allows you to identify where a firm but respectful no is needed. Awareness is essential because boundaries cannot be enforced without recognizing their necessity. Next, define personal priorities clearly. When you know what matters most, whether it's work, personal development, relationships, or health, it becomes easier to evaluate requests and demands against these priorities. A clear sense of purpose provides the framework for deciding which commitments to accept and which to decline. This clarity empowers confident, intentional decision-making rather than reactive acquiescence. Saying no effectively requires practice in assertive communication. Respectful no is direct, clear, and firm without being aggressive or apologetic. Use concise language that acknowledges the request while stating your inability to commit due to other priorities. For example, phrases like "I appreciate the invitation, but I won't be able to take this on right now," or "I need to focus on my current commitments, so I must decline," convey boundaries clearly while maintaining respect. Recognize that declining does not require elaborate justification. Often, excessive explanation can dilute the message, invite negotiation, or undermine authority. A simple, honest statement that communicates the decision is usually sufficient. Confidence in your response demonstrates self-respect, reduces guilt, and reinforces the value of your time and energy. Internal resistance often arises from fear of conflict, judgment, or disappointing others. This is natural, but it must be addressed to maintain boundaries. Remind yourself that protecting your energy is not rejection of others, but a commitment to your capacity to perform, contribute, and engage fully where it matters most. Reframing the act of saying no as empowerment rather than confrontation strengthens resolve and reduces anxiety. Consistency reinforces energy protection. Repeatedly honoring boundaries sends clear signals to yourself and others about the limits of your availability and capacity. Over time, consistency builds respect from peers, colleagues, and family, making future boundary enforcement easier and more accepted. Discipline in boundary setting ensures that energy is preserved and aligned with priorities. Evaluate commitments before agreeing. Avoid automatic yes responses by taking time to consider how a request aligns with goals, values, and current capacity. This pause allows thoughtful decisions rather than reactive acquiescence. By assessing alignment first, you protect energy for tasks that truly matter and reduce stress caused by overcommitment. Delegation and collaboration complement the practice of saying no. When possible, redirect requests to others who have the capacity or expertise to handle them. Delegation ensures that work is completed without overextending personal resources, reinforces efficiency, and maintains focus on high-priority tasks. Respectful delegation communicates responsibility while safeguarding energy. Self-compassion supports boundary enforcement. It is common to feel guilt or concern for others' reactions, but reminding yourself that energy preservation is necessary for effectiveness and well-being reinforces self-respect. Treating your needs as valid and necessary for sustainable contributions strengthens confidence in saying no and reduces emotional strain. Preparation enhances respectful refusal. Anticipate situations where requests may arise and plan responses in advance. Having rehearsed phrases or strategies reduces hesitation, ensures clarity, and maintains respectful communication. Preparedness allows no to be delivered confidently without unnecessary stress or over-explanation. Observe reactions without internalizing them. Others may feel disappointment, surprise, or resistance when boundaries are enforced. Accept that their response is separate from your responsibility and does not invalidate your decision. Protecting energy requires prioritizing personal capacity over external approval, while maintaining courtesy and respect in interactions. Energy mapping can guide decision-making. Identify times of peak productivity, focus, and emotional resilience. Decline tasks or invitations that intrude upon these high-value periods to protect performance and maintain momentum. Awareness of energy cycles allows strategic boundary setting, ensuring that commitments align with personal capacity and goals. Positive reinforcement strengthens the habit of saying no. Acknowledge instances where boundaries were respected, tasks prioritized effectively, and energy preserved. Celebrating these decisions reinforces confidence, reduces guilt, and encourages continued discipline in managing commitments. Recognition of success builds a sense of empowerment and control. Flexibility remains important. While boundaries are essential, discernment allows occasional exceptions when alignment with values, relationships, or opportunities justifies temporary accommodation. Intentional flexibility prevents rigidity from becoming stress-inducing while preserving overall energy management. Purposeful adaptation ensures balance between assertiveness and relational harmony. Reflection improves boundary effectiveness. Regularly review commitments, energy expenditure, and emotional responses to declined or accepted requests. Reflection identifies patterns, highlights areas where boundaries may be too weak or too strict, and informs future decisions. Continuous assessment ensures that energy protection strategies remain effective and aligned with evolving goals. Combining energy protection with goal clarity magnifies impact. When priorities are clearly defined, saying no becomes easier and more purposeful. Energy is reserved for high-value tasks that directly contribute to growth, success, and well-being. Alignment between boundaries and objectives ensures that effort produces meaningful results rather than dissipating on low-priority demands. Saying no respectfully also strengthens relationships over time. Clear communication prevents resentment, misunderstandings, and overcommitment, fostering mutual respect and understanding. People learn to trust your word, value your time, and respect your limits. Effective boundary setting creates healthier, more sustainable interactions in both personal and professional contexts. Ultimately, protecting your energy by saying no when necessary is an act of empowerment, self-respect, and strategic focus. By identifying energy drains, defining priorities, communicating boundaries clearly and respectfully, and consistently honoring limits, you preserve the capacity to pursue meaningful goals, maintain emotional balance, and perform at your best. This practice cultivates resilience, discipline, and clarity, ensuring that energy is invested in activities that truly matter while reducing stress, overwhelm, and burnout. Chapter 16. Celebrate progress often to build confidence and steady momentum. Every step forward is an achievement, and recognizing even the smallest victories fuels confidence, reinforces progress, and creates momentum that carries you toward bigger goals. Growth is not a single leap, but a series of consistent actions, and without acknowledgement of these efforts, motivation can dwindle, progress can feel invisible, and perseverance can weaken. Celebrating progress is not about ego or self-indulgence. It is about reinforcing the behavior, mindset, and habits that lead to consistent improvement. When progress is acknowledged and honored, the brain associates effort with reward, motivation is amplified, and the journey toward success becomes both inspiring and sustainable. The first step is cultivating awareness of accomplishments. Many people overlook small achievements, waiting only for major milestones before recognizing success. Awareness requires conscious attention to daily wins, completed tasks, skills developed, or challenges overcome. Even minor steps, when acknowledged, reinforce the value of effort, enhance self-confidence, and maintain a sense of purpose. By training the mind to notice progress, momentum naturally builds over time. Next, quantify achievements whenever possible. Measurable results provide concrete evidence of progress, making accomplishments visible and undeniable. Whether it is finishing a task ahead of schedule, increasing efficiency, improving a skill, or meeting a goal, quantification strengthens perception of growth. Tangible acknowledgement of results reinforces the connection between action and outcome, providing motivation to continue consistent effort. Reflection amplifies the power of celebration. Take time to review what was accomplished, identify the effort applied, and recognize challenges that were overcome. Reflection helps internalize achievements, highlight personal growth, and reinforce confidence in capability. By reflecting on progress regularly, you cultivate a mindset that appreciates effort, builds resilience, and maintains focus on continuous improvement. Positive reinforcement is essential. Rewarding yourself for completed tasks, consistent effort, or milestones reached strengthens motivation and encourages repetition of productive behaviors. Rewards need not be extravagant. Small gestures, acknowledgement, or personal satisfaction are sufficient to create psychological reinforcement. The act of celebrating progress signals the brain that effort leads to positive outcomes, cementing the habit of consistent action. Acknowledging progress publicly or socially can enhance motivation further. Sharing achievements with mentors, peers, or supportive communities reinforces recognition, provides external validation, and fosters accountability. Social acknowledgement magnifies the sense of accomplishment and strengthens commitment to ongoing growth. External reinforcement complements internal celebration, creating a positive feedback loop for sustained momentum. Visualization enhances the perception of progress. Mentally replay actions taken, goals achieved, and obstacles overcome. Visualization integrates effort and outcome in the mind, solidifying confidence and reinforcing belief in capability. By vividly seeing the results of hard work, the mind experiences satisfaction and motivation similar to the emotional response of achieving a major milestone, sustaining drive for further accomplishment. Tracking progress systematically ensures consistency. Maintaining journals, logs, or records of achievements provides tangible evidence of growth and prevents underestimation of effort. Reviewing documented progress over time highlights patterns, demonstrates improvement, and reinforces the understanding that consistent action leads to tangible results. Tracking also enables identification of areas for refinement and informs future goal setting. Celebrating progress fosters resilience. Recognizing victories, even amid setbacks, reinforces the understanding that effort is meaningful and growth is ongoing. When challenges arise, recalling prior successes strengthens confidence, reduces discouragement, and sustains motivation. Progress celebration creates a psychological buffer that supports persistence, determination, and a proactive mindset even in difficult circumstances. Gratitude enhances the experience of achievement. Appreciating personal effort, support received, and opportunities available increases satisfaction with progress and fosters a positive emotional state. Gratitude coupled with celebration strengthens mental and emotional resilience, enhances motivation, and reinforces the value of consistent work. This combination nurtures a mindset that is both ambitious and balanced. Breaking larger goals into smaller, achievable milestones magnifies the power of celebration. Each completed step becomes an opportunity to acknowledge progress, boosting morale and reinforcing the habit of consistent effort. Milestones act as checkpoints that transform long-term objectives into manageable actions, making the journey more tangible, motivating, and rewarding. Self-talk reinforces recognition of progress. Affirming personal achievements and growth verbally or mentally strengthens confidence and belief in capability. Statements such as "I handled that challenge well" or "I made significant progress today" anchor awareness of accomplishment and encourage persistence. Positive self-talk maintains momentum and mitigates the influence of doubt or discouragement. Celebrating progress also strengthens focus on continuous improvement. By acknowledging accomplishments, the mind is motivated to sustain effort, refine skills, and pursue additional goals. Recognition of success provides both encouragement and clarity, reinforcing the pathway toward further development and achievement. This cycle of progress, acknowledgement, and renewed effort creates sustainable growth over time. Incorporating rituals for celebration can enhance consistency. Rituals may include journaling achievements, sharing victories with others, personal reflection, or small rewards. Regular practices establish a structured way to acknowledge progress, ensuring that recognition becomes habitual rather than incidental. Rituals reinforce the psychological and emotional benefits of celebrating accomplishments consistently. Avoid comparing progress to others. Celebrate your journey based on personal growth, effort, and results, rather than external benchmarks. Comparison often diminishes motivation and shifts focus away from meaningful achievements. By recognizing progress relative to your own starting point and goals, confidence and momentum are strengthened without distraction or unnecessary stress. Intentional pauses to appreciate achievements to prevent burnout. Continually pursuing goals without recognition of progress can lead to fatigue, diminished motivation, and decreased performance. Taking moments to honor accomplishments rejuvenates energy, reinforces purpose, and creates psychological reinforcement for ongoing effort. These pauses integrate achievement with satisfaction, sustaining long-term engagement. Empowerment emerges from consistent recognition of progress. Each acknowledged success strengthens belief in capability, builds confidence, and fosters autonomy in decision-making and action. Recognizing growth reinforces self-efficacy, motivating further effort and increasing the likelihood of tackling larger challenges with assurance and clarity. Reflection on cumulative progress inspires perspective. Reviewing all achievements over weeks, months, or years highlights patterns of growth, resilience, and consistency. Perspective fosters gratitude, self-confidence, and motivation, showing that sustained effort yields measurable results. Awareness of cumulative progress encourages continued engagement and reinforces commitment to personal development. Ultimately, celebrating progress often transforms motivation, confidence, and productivity. By acknowledging small victories, reflecting on achievements, reinforcing effort through positive self-talk and rewards, and maintaining focus on personal growth rather than comparison, momentum builds naturally. Consistent recognition of progress strengthens resilience, reinforces habits, and empowers continued pursuit of goals. This practice cultivates a mindset that values effort, embraces accomplishment, and sustains long-term success and personal fulfillment. Chapter 17. Release what you cannot control and direct effort wisely. True power comes from focusing on what you can influence and letting go of what lies beyond your control, because holding on to the uncontrollable drains energy, clouds judgment, and limits growth. Life constantly presents situations, people, and outcomes that cannot be dictated or predicted, and attempting to manage everything only leads to frustration, stress, and wasted effort. Directing effort wisely begins with discernment, recognizing where your attention, time, and energy will produce meaningful results, and where resistance is futile. Mastery of self, productivity, and resilience arises from embracing this distinction, transforming challenges into opportunities and uncertainty into clarity. The first step is acknowledging the difference between controllable and uncontrollable elements. Controllable aspects include your actions, choices, mindset, preparation, and responses to circumstances. Uncontrollable elements encompass other people's decisions, external events, timing, or outcomes influenced by forces beyond your reach. Recognizing this distinction provides clarity, prevents wasted energy, and fosters mental and emotional original. Release begins with acceptance. Accepting that certain outcomes are beyond influence does not imply passivity, but liberates the mind from unnecessary struggle. Acceptance allows focus to shift toward areas where impact is possible, reducing stress and increasing effectiveness. Letting go of resistance to the uncontrollable is a practical discipline that strengthens resilience and preserves energy for meaningful action. Prioritize effort based on impact. Evaluate tasks, decisions, and challenges to determine where your energy will generate tangible results. Directing effort toward actions within your control maximizes productivity, effectiveness, and progress. By concentrating on high-leverage activities, you achieve more with less wasted effort, building momentum and reinforcing confidence in your capabilities. Mindset shapes the ability to release control. Cultivating a perspective of discernment and detachment allows calm, rational responses to uncertainty. Instead of reacting emotionally to every obstacle or unpredictable event, approach situations with curiosity, assessment, and measured action. A balanced mindset prevents wasted effort, maintains focus, and strengthens decision-making under pressure. Boundaries support controlled effort. Establish limits on what you will invest energy in, and decline involvement in matters outside your sphere of influence. Boundaries ensure attention remains on priorities, prevent overextension, and maintain resilience. Respecting limits allows consistent, purposeful action while reducing exposure to unnecessary stress or disappointment. Reflection enhances strategic effort. Regularly review where energy has been applied, which actions produced results, and which attempts were hindered by uncontrollable factors. Reflection provides insight into patterns of influence and impact, guiding future decisions about where to direct focus. Learning from past experiences strengthens judgment, reinforces efficiency, builds confidence in choosing battles wisely. Adaptability is essential. While control may be limited, response is always within reach. Adjust strategies, approaches, and expectations to navigate unpredictable circumstances effectively. Adaptability transforms challenges into opportunities for growth, ensuring that effort is applied in ways that align with changing conditions without being wasted on immovable obstacles. Mindful presence strengthens control over effort. Focusing fully on the task at hand, rather than ruminating over uncontrollable outcomes, enhances effectiveness and clarity. Attention applied intentionally amplifies productivity, reduces distraction, and ensures that action is meaningful. Mindfulness creates a mental state in which effort is aligned with purpose, rather than dissipated in worry or frustration. Delegation and collaboration multiply controlled influence. Partnering with capable individuals or leveraging resources within your control increases impact without overextending personal capacity. Strategic collaboration ensures that effort is directed efficiently, producing results that would be difficult to achieve alone. Effective delegation is an act of wisdom, not weakness, maximizing the influence of actions within your sphere of control. Detachment reduces emotional expenditure. Becoming overly invested in outcomes outside your control leads to stress, anxiety, and impaired decision-making. Detachment allows focus to remain on actions rather than results, fostering mental clarity, emotional resilience, and consistent performance. Emotional balance is crucial for sustaining effort and maintaining perspective amid uncertainty. Time management reinforces controlled effort. Prioritizing tasks that align with your influence ensures that energy is applied where it produces results. Scheduling, planning, and sequencing work around controllable factors prevents distraction, wasted effort, and fatigue. Effective time allocation transforms potential overwhelm into structured, intentional progress. Visualization supports strategic action. Mentally rehearsing tasks, responses, and decisions that fall within your control strengthens readiness and confidence. Visualization enhances focus, reduces hesitation, and prepares you to act decisively when circumstances require. By concentrating on controllable elements mentally, you improve execution in reality and reduce stress related to uncertainty. Resilience grows when effort is focused wisely. Recognizing limitations of control and acting within them prevents burnout, maintains energy, and strengthens persistence. Resilient individuals prioritize action over worry, embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, and maintain momentum despite circumstances beyond their influence. Resilience is cultivated through disciplined application of effort in areas where impact is possible. Gratitude reinforces perspective. Appreciating opportunities, capabilities, and successes within your control cultivates contentment and focus. Gratitude shifts attention from frustration over uncontrollable events to recognition of achievements and resources available. This mindset strengthens motivation, mental clarity, and the ability to direct effort intentionally. Positive self-talk supports disciplined release. Reminding yourself that it is impossible to control everything and that energy is best spent on actions you can influence reinforces clarity, focus, and self-compassion. Encouraging statements bolster resilience, reduce anxiety, and sustain strategic effort. Confidence grows when attention is deliberately aligned with what can be influenced rather than wasted on what cannot. Flexibility ensures efficiency. Even within the sphere of control, strategies may need adjustment based on results, feedback, or unforeseen developments. Maintaining flexibility allows continued progress, learning, and adaptation, while minimizing wasted effort. Purposeful adjustment enhances outcomes and reinforces confidence in decision-making. Accountability strengthens application of effort. Sharing priorities, actions, and outcomes with mentors, peers, or teams ensures that effort is intentional and consistent. Accountability supports focus on controllable factors, reinforces discipline, and provides external feedback that improves judgment and results. Collaborative accountability enhances effectiveness while maintaining energy for impactful action. Ultimately, releasing what cannot be controlled and directing effort wisely transforms productivity, resilience, and well-being. By recognizing boundaries of influence, prioritizing high-impact actions, maintaining focus, and detaching from outcomes outside your control, energy is applied strategically and effectively. This practice cultivates mental clarity, emotional stability, and consistent progress, empowering you to navigate uncertainty with confidence and purpose while achieving meaningful results. Chapter 18. Invest in learning every day to expand skills and perspective. Growth begins the moment you commit to learning daily, because each new skill, insight, or perspective compounds into greater capability, confidence, and opportunity. Knowledge is not a static asset, but a living tool that expands with consistent investment, shaping decisions, improving problem-solving, and opening doors that remain closed to those who stagnate. By dedicating time each day to learning, you develop versatility, adaptability, and resilience that empower you to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and consistently elevate your personal and professional life. Every small investment in learning creates cumulative impact, transforming potential into tangible results and fostering a mindset of continuous growth. The first step is cultivating curiosity. A desire to understand, question, and explore is the foundation of effective learning. Curiosity drives engagement, sustains motivation, and ensures that knowledge is sought proactively rather than passively absorbed. By nurturing genuine interest in topics relevant to goals, skills, and personal development, you create a mental environment primed for retention and application. Curiosity turns learning from a task into a meaningful pursuit. Next, identify areas for growth. Consider the skills, knowledge, and perspectives that will have the most significant impact on personal goals, career advancement, and overall life satisfaction. Targeting learning in these areas ensures effort is purposeful and aligned with long-term objectives. Strategic selection of focus areas maximizes return on time invested, turning daily learning into a tool for measurable progress. Consistency is critical. Daily practice, even for short intervals, is more effective than sporadic bursts of intense effort. The brain thrives on repetition, and skills are refined through regular engagement. Establishing a routine for learning, whether reading, practicing, observing, or reflecting, cements knowledge, enhances retention, and reinforces the habit of continuous improvement. Active engagement strengthens learning. Rather than passively consuming information, interact with it. Take notes, ask questions, summarize concepts, or apply new knowledge in real situations. Active engagement deepens understanding, sharpens critical thinking, and bridges the gap between theory and practical application. Knowledge becomes actionable when it is actively processed and integrated. Embrace diverse sources of learning. Books, articles, podcasts, videos, mentors, and experiences all provide unique perspectives that broaden understanding. Exposure to varied viewpoints enhances critical thinking, creativity, and adaptability. By engaging with multiple forms of knowledge, you build a robust mental framework that can be applied flexibly across situations, challenges, and decisions. Reflection consolidates learning. After acquiring new information or skills, take time to review and analyze. Consider how concepts integrate with existing knowledge, what practical applications are possible, and how growth can be measured. Reflection reinforces memory, identifies gaps and transforms knowledge into insight that informs action. Learning requires deliberate challenge. Seek material, skills or experiences that push beyond current competence. Comfort zones limit growth, while deliberate challenge strengthens problem-solving, resilience, and adaptability. Tackling difficult concepts or unfamiliar practices develops confidence, expands capability, and cultivates a mindset that thrives on progress rather than ease. Application is essential. Knowledge gains value only when translated into action. Implementing learned skills, testing new ideas, and integrating insights into daily routines converts theory into tangible outcomes. Practical application reinforces retention, validates understanding, and demonstrates the real-world value of consistent learning. Seek feedback to refine understanding. Input from mentors, peers, or self-assessment provides clarity on performance, understanding, and areas for improvement. Constructive feedback identifies blind spots, reinforces strengths, and guides continued development. Feedback ensures that learning is purposeful, targeted, and impactful rather than superficial. Balance, depth, and breadth. Mastery requires focused study, but perspective is enhanced by exposure to diverse disciplines. Allocate time to both specialized skills and broader knowledge to develop competence while maintaining adaptability. This balance strengthens problem-solving, creativity, and the ability to approach challenges from multiple angles. Curate a learning environment. Surround yourself with resources, people, and routines that support growth. Minimize distractions, engage with communities that value knowledge, and dedicate specific times for study. A supportive environment reinforces consistency, sustains motivation, and creates conditions for accelerated learning. Record and track progress. Journaling insights, skills acquired, and lessons applied provides tangible evidence of growth. Tracking progress reinforces motivation, highlights accomplishments, and informs adjustments to learning strategies. Awareness of cumulative development maintains momentum and fosters a sense of achievement. Adopt a growth mindset. Believing that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning transforms challenges into opportunities. A growth mindset encourages persistence, embraces mistakes as learning moments, and sustains curiosity. Viewing learning as a path to expansion rather than a measure of limitation empowers continued effort and resilience. Time management enhances daily learning. Allocate consistent, intentional periods for acquiring knowledge without distraction. Small, focused sessions are often more effective than long, unfocused efforts. Prioritizing learning alongside other responsibilities ensures that it becomes a non-negotiable part of personal growth rather than an occasional activity. Integration of learning amplifies impact. Connect new knowledge to existing skills, experiences, and goals to maximize usefulness. Applying concepts across contexts, synthesizing ideas, and adapting lessons strengthens both comprehension and relevance. Integration transforms isolated facts into actionable wisdom that enhances decision-making and performance. Teaching others reinforces mastery. Explaining concepts, mentoring peers, or sharing insights consolidates understanding, highlights gaps, and develops communication skills. Teaching is a form of active engagement that turns learning into a dynamic and practical exercise, solidifying knowledge while benefiting others. Adapt to changing information. Learning is ongoing because the world evolves. Stay updated with trends, innovations, and new discoveries in relevant areas. Adaptation ensures that skills and knowledge remain current, competitive, and applicable. Lifelong learning requires openness to change and responsiveness to emerging insights. Celebrate learning milestones. Recognize skills acquired, concepts mastered, and perspectives broadened. Celebrating achievement reinforces motivation, boosts confidence, and maintains engagement. Acknowledgement of progress encourages sustained effort and highlights the tangible benefits of consistent investment in growth. Ultimately, investing in learning every day transforms capability, perspective, and potential. Consistent curiosity, targeted focus, active engagement, reflection, application, and integration create a compounding effect that accelerates personal and professional development. Learning fuels adaptability, confidence, creativity, and resilience, equipping you to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and achieve meaningful goals. Daily dedication to growth ensures that progress is continuous, deliberate, and impactful, turning knowledge into action and potential into results. Chapter 19. Speak kindly to yourself and practice compassion in action. The way you speak to yourself shapes every action, every decision, and every emotion, and treating yourself with kindness is the foundation for lasting confidence, resilience, and personal growth. Self-compassion is not indulgence or weakness. It is a conscious commitment to acknowledge your humanity, embrace imperfections, and respond to yourself with understanding and encouragement, rather than criticism or judgment. The words you choose internally have power to either lift you toward your goals or undermine your progress, making the practice of speaking kindly and acting with compassion a transformative daily discipline that impacts every area of life. Start by observing your internal dialogue. Notice the tone, words, and patterns that dominate your thoughts. Awareness of critical, harsh, or negative self-talk is the first step toward change. Many people go through life repeating unhelpful statements without realizing their impact. By recognizing these patterns, you gain the ability to intervene and redirect your thoughts towards supportive, constructive language. Replace criticism with encouragement. Whenever a negative thought arises, consciously reframe it into a statement that empowers rather than diminishes. For example, instead of thinking "I failed at this," try "I gave my best effort and I will learn from this experience." This shift transforms mindset from one of limitation to one of growth, reinforcing resilience and perseverance. Acknowledge effort as well as outcomes. Too often, people focus exclusively on results, dismissing the progress made along the way. Speaking kindly to yourself includes recognizing effort, intention, and perseverance, which strengthens confidence and sustains motivation even when results are delayed or imperfect. Appreciating the process cultivates patience, resilience, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Practice daily affirmations. Use simple, genuine statements that reinforce self-worth, capability, and positivity. Repeating affirmations each day rewires thought patterns over time, reducing self-doubt and cultivating a mindset that supports growth and achievement. Personalized affirmations can address areas where self-criticism is strongest, turning habitual negative thinking into constructive self-talk. Embrace imperfection as part of growth. Accepting mistakes and flaws without judgment is a cornerstone of self-compassion. Mistakes are opportunities to learn and evolve, rather than proof of inadequacy. Speaking kindly to yourself in the face of setbacks transforms disappointment into clarity, insight, and motivation to continue progressing. Practice mindfulness to strengthen self-awareness. Observing thoughts and emotions without judgment allows recognition of unhelpful patterns before they dominate behavior. Mindful awareness enables conscious intervention, replacing automatic criticism with compassionate guidance. Mindfulness creates space for thoughtful, supportive self-talk rather than reactive negativity. Extend compassion into action. Self-compassion is not only about words, but also about behaviors that reinforce care for your well-being. Prioritize rest, nutrition, boundaries, and activities that nurture mental, emotional, and physical health. When actions align with compassionate self-talk, reinforcement is stronger, creating a cycle of support that enhances confidence and performance. Set realistic expectations. Harsh self-criticism often arises from unattainable standards. Adjust goals and expectations to reflect current capacity, resources, and context. Clear, achievable targets, reduce self-reproach, and allow celebration of progress, maintaining motivation and reinforcing positive self-regard. Respond to failure with curiosity rather than judgment. Ask questions like, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can I approach this differently next time?" This approach encourages growth, diminishes shame, and strengthens problem-solving skills. Self-compassion reframes challenges as opportunities rather than threats to self-worth. Encourage yourself as you would a close friend. Imagine giving advice to someone you care deeply about and direct the same tone, understanding, and patience inward. This perspective helps break patterns of harsh self-judgment, replacing them with nurturing guidance that motivates and empowers. Recognize progress daily. Reflect on achievements, personal growth, and small victories. Speaking kindly includes celebrating strengths, acknowledging improvements, and reinforcing the value of effort. Regular recognition cultivates confidence, reduces self-doubt, and sustains momentum toward long-term goals. Limit comparison to others. Self-compassion thrives when focus is on personal growth rather than external benchmarks. Comparing yourself to others often fosters criticism, envy, or dissatisfaction. Center attention on your journey, celebrating personal efforts and development, which strengthens self-esteem and resilience. Practice gratitude toward yourself. Appreciate your abilities, resilience, and contributions. Gratitude directed inward reinforces recognition of intrinsic worth, encouraging supportive self-talk and compassionate behavior. Acknowledging your strengths and achievements creates a foundation of confidence that fuels future action. Use gentle correction rather than harsh punishment. When mistakes occur, guide yourself toward improvement through constructive feedback instead of self-reproach. Gentle, specific, actionable guidance empowers learning, enhances skill development, and maintains motivation while preserving self-respect. Integrate compassion into decision-making. Consider your well-being and long-term growth when making choices. Decisions rooted in self-compassion prioritize health, boundaries, and sustainable effort, ensuring that actions align with personal values and aspirations. Compassionate decision-making reduces regret, stress, and self-criticism. Visualize supportive inner dialogue. Picture yourself speaking with warmth, encouragement, and understanding during challenges. Visualization reinforces positive neural pathways, making constructive self-talk more natural and accessible under pressure. Imagining compassionate responses strengthens emotional regulation and resilience in real situations. Affirm your humanity. Accept that struggle, error, and imperfection are universal experiences. Recognizing this shared human condition fosters patience and reduces harsh self-judgment. Acknowledging humanity allows you to respond to yourself with the same care you would extend to others facing similar circumstances. Pair self-compassion with growth-oriented action. Kindness alone is insufficient if it leads to passivity. Combine supportive self-talk with proactive steps toward improvement. This balance ensures that encouragement fuels purposeful action, skill development, and consistent progress, making compassion both nurturing and productive. Monitor emotional tone regularly. Check in with yourself throughout the day to ensure internal dialogue remains supportive rather than critical. Regular monitoring prevents accumulation of negative thought patterns and strengthens self-awareness. This practice sustains a positive mindset and reinforces resilience during challenges. Ultimately, speaking kindly to yourself and practicing compassion in action transforms your relationship with effort, setbacks, and potential. By nurturing awareness of internal dialogue, reframing criticism into encouragement, aligning actions with care, and embracing imperfection as part of growth, confidence, resilience, and motivation flourish. Self-compassion empowers you to pursue goals with courage, maintain focus during challenges, and sustain long-term personal and professional development, while cultivating emotional balance, mental clarity, and a sense of inner fulfillment. Chapter 20. Act consistently, even when motivation fades, to create habits. Discipline is stronger than fleeting motivation because consistent action, even when energy wanes or enthusiasm fades, creates habits that define success, shape character, and transform potential into results. Relying solely on motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates with mood, circumstances, and external events, leaving progress vulnerable to inconsistency. Real transformation comes from developing the ability to act regardless of emotional state, establishing routines and behaviors that persist under challenge, boredom, or fatigue. Every repeated action compounds into habit, and habits ultimately dictate the trajectory of your life, far more than temporary inspiration ever can. The first step is commitment. Decide clearly on the actions that align with your goals, values, and long-term vision. Commitment is the bridge between intention and execution, providing a reference point for action when motivation is absent. By creating a personal standard of consistency, you shift the focus from how you feel to what must be done, reinforcing discipline as the driving force for progress. Break tasks into manageable steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming when motivation dips, but dividing objectives into smaller, achievable actions ensures that forward momentum continues. Completing incremental tasks builds momentum, creates a sense of accomplishment, and prevents procrastination, allowing habit formation to proceed naturally even during low-energy periods. Use structure and routines to guide action. Scheduling consistent times for key tasks reduces reliance on fluctuating motivation. When action becomes a routine, it shifts from a decision to a default behavior, decreasing resistance and increasing likelihood of completion. Structured consistency transforms effort into automatic progress and solidifies the foundation for long-term success. Focus on starting rather than perfect execution. Often, waiting for ideal conditions or peak motivation delays action. By prioritizing initiation over perfection, momentum builds naturally. Even imperfect action produces learning, progress, and reinforcement of habits, whereas inaction guarantees stagnation and lost opportunity. Leverage environmental design. Arrange surroundings to make desired actions easier and less dependent on motivation. Remove distractions, place tools or resources within reach, and create cues that trigger action automatically. The environment can act as a silent partner, nudging behavior toward consistency and reinforcing habit formation without relying solely on willpower. Track progress consistently. Recording daily actions, achievements, and adherence to routines provides visible evidence of consistency. Monitoring progress reinforces accountability, highlights improvements, and motivates continuation, despite fluctuating enthusiasm. Tangible tracking transforms abstract effort into measurable growth, sustaining action when motivation wanes. Embrace the power of repetition. Consistency requires doing actions repeatedly, even when they feel mundane or uninspiring. Repetition ingrains behavior into habit, strengthening neural pathways and reducing reliance on conscious effort. Over time, repeated practice leads to automatic competence, making disciplined action more effortless and enduring. Anticipate dips in motivation and plan strategies to counteract them. Identify triggers for procrastination, fatigue, or distraction, and prepare methods to maintain action during these periods. Strategies may include time blocking, accountability partners, reward systems, or breaking tasks into micro steps. Preparation ensures that consistency endures despite emotional fluctuations. Reinforce identity through action. Acting consistently shapes self-perception and personal narrative. Each completed action affirms that you are disciplined, capable, and committed, creating a self-reinforcing cycle where behavior and identity align. When habit becomes part of who you are, consistency becomes natural rather than forced, sustaining growth even in challenging circumstances. Apply incremental improvement daily. Small, consistent efforts accumulate into substantial results over time. Even modest actions performed regularly compound, yielding progress far beyond sporadic bursts of effort. Embracing incremental gains reduces pressure, maintains motivation through visible results, and solidifies habits that produce lasting change. Reward consistency rather than outcomes. Motivation often depends on immediate results, but celebrating persistence reinforces behavior irrespective of immediate success. Rewards may include personal acknowledgement, small incentives, or reflection on progress. Recognizing the value of consistent effort strengthens habit formation and sustains long-term action. Practice self-compassion alongside discipline. Consistency does not require perfection. Accept occasional lapses without harsh judgment, then return to action immediately. Self-compassion prevents discouragement, preserves momentum, and maintains motivation for the long journey of habit development. Consistent return to action is more powerful than temporary perfection. Use accountability to strengthen adherence. Sharing goals, progress, and routines with mentors, peers, or supportive communities increases commitment. Accountability encourages follow-through, provides feedback, and reinforces the importance of consistency, especially when intrinsic motivation is low. External support complements internal discipline, enhancing sustainability of action. Visualize long-term results to sustain focus. Mental imagery of the benefits, skills, and achievements resulting from consistent effort enhances commitment to daily action. Visualization bridges present effort with future reward, motivating persistence even during low-energy moments. Seeing the impact of sustained habits strengthens determination to continue consistently. Minimize reliance on willpower. Willpower is limited and fluctuates, making it unreliable for sustained habit formation. Instead, automate behavior through routines, cues, and environmental support. By designing systems that promote automatic action, you reduce the burden of conscious effort and increase consistency regardless of mood or energy. Commit to flexibility within consistency. Habits must adapt to changing circumstances without abandoning progress. Adjust timing, methods, or scope as needed while maintaining core principles. Flexibility ensures that external disruptions do not derail long-term consistency, allowing habits to persist and evolve under varying conditions. Reflect regularly on the impact of consistent action. Assess how repeated effort affects skills, goals, and personal growth. Reflection reinforces the value of persistence, highlights progress, and identifies areas for improvement. Conscious evaluation strengthens commitment and guides refinement of habits for maximum effectiveness. Anchor habits to existing routines. Linking new behaviors to established patterns increases adherence and reduces resistance. Habit stacking leverages familiar cues to trigger desired actions automatically, enhancing consistency without additional mental effort. Integration with existing routines creates seamless, enduring habits. Ultimately, acting consistently even when motivation fades is the cornerstone of mastery, resilience, and achievement. Discipline transforms potential into tangible results, habits into identity, and effort into exponential growth. By prioritizing action over fleeting emotion, structuring routines, leveraging environment, embracing repetition, and reflecting on progress, consistent behavior becomes the engine of personal transformation. Habits formed through steady action persist through challenges, fatigue, and uncertainty, producing long-term results that surpass what motivation alone could ever achieve. Consistency empowers you to build the life you envision, achieve meaningful goals, and develop the character and resilience necessary to thrive in any circumstance.